Conscripted by a secret organization, a group of strangers is loaded into experimental metapods, hurtling their souls across dimensions and into unsuspecting avatars. With each trip across reality, these newly minted metapilots gain access to unique powers and abilities, slowly transforming them into true masters of the Metaverse.
Hey everyone, welcome. It is Meta Monday. Welcome to another episode of Masters of the Metaverse here on the Zombie Orpheus Entertainment channel on Twitch. I am your host and GM, James Durham, and joining me at my virtual table today, I've got Lisa Coronado, Sean Franklin, Luke Edmondson, and Christian Doyle.
Hey.
Now, what is Masters of the Metaverse? Well, it's only the most interactive live stream RPG on the planet. That's right. We've got our full store that you can hop into right now, check it out, and do all kinds of great things, from meta points to allow our pilots to go in different directions on the slider, to personality disorders if you want to decide which direction they go on the slider, moments of clarity to give them the best dice. They've got individual buffs. There's the meta meltdown and system shock if you want to play havoc on them. Team up to see all kinds of great things. My personal favorite, the rule of cool. And then, of course, there's the hack attack. If you just absolutely have to have something added into this story, that's built for it. We've got some special backers I would like to thank this week. Matthew O'Brien, thank you. John Knapp, thank you. And Abigail Roberts, thank you. You're our Patreon backers. We couldn't do this without Patreon backers like you and without people supporting our store. So I am really, really glad you did that. Now, usually we are able to have a Patreon poll every week to have results, but because of the all the wild and crazy zaniness of ZoeCon, the Patreon poll didn't happen. So what I need now is our wonderful Mod Packs is going to run a poll right now, and you, our entire audience, in this very moment, is going to run your own poll to give our pilots today some bonuses, and you're going to decide how those go. So go ahead and vote the way you want to on that one, and I will distribute those before we get going here into the game. Now, last week on Masters of the Metaverse, we began our Dreams and Nightmares storyline. And following the rumors of strange happenings and pilot disappearances, our heroes traveled to Metaverse 00761, hoping to find the mysterious cause of the impending doom that Monday, the Chronicler, warned them about. Upon arrival, they found themselves in the avatars of unfortunate inmates in an asylum outside of New York City. They were beset by horrors and the demented staff of the facility itself, barely escaping before one of the staff set the building ablaze. Once outside, they encountered a strange entity. Wyatt Maxwell was able to determine that this strange mad being was similar to the horrible creature known as Harvester, who we once faced in the place called Toyland. Oh, yes. So I'm waiting for those poll results. Once I have them, I will let you guys know how that turned out. But until then, we will get going here. You have left the walls of the asylum behind. About an hour or so of traveling down the road towards the New York City that you saw in the distance. The smell of burnt buildings and smoke is slightly stronger here as you're getting closer. And this is where you see your first real signs of life besides the asylum that you left. There's a rolling pasture and occasional farmhouses and small little cottages and the like, but there's no livestock and no people working in them. And you don't see any traffic on the roads, no one walking, no one working in the fields. In fact, you see nothing living, not even birds. It is exceptionally quiet. And we've got some poll results. Looks like we've got Lisa taking first place. So, Lisa, you're going to get plus 20 health and plus 7 to a roll on this session.
Yes.
Wow.
We've got Christian and Sean coming in almost right behind that. So we're going to get plus 20 health and plus 5 to a roll for both Christian and Sean for today.
Yay. Thanks, folks.
And then Luke, we're going to get you at the back end, only slightly ahead of my lack of getting anything at all because everyone hates me and I'll eat worms, is plus 10 health and plus 3 to a roll.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Chad.
Yay. Thank you.
All right. So that's about all you've really seen so far, and it's been a couple of hours of walking down this long, windy road. It's not like the roads from back home in your home metaverse. It's more primitive, mixture of gravel, not fine asphalt. Paved roads aren't quite a thing just yet, or at least not this far away from an urban area like New York City. And more of these cottages you pass and more farmhouses, and still no life, not a single person. No one sitting on a porch, no cows out in the pasture. And there are empty pastures that look like maybe they held cows, pens that would hold, pigs or goats or any number of other creatures. And they're just not there. It's completely empty. And these don't look like they're abandoned or old or decrepit farmhouses. They're all decently maintained. I mean, it looks like someone should live there. But more and more of just emptiness.
According to Sarah's memories, this is really odd. Right now, there should be people out and about.
I think you might be muted, Christian.
Where am I on the slider?
Let's see. You should be. Yep. John, Crash, and Wyatt are full pilot currently.
Okay, so I want to use my heightened senses to see if I can actually detect any life around where we are within a
Excellent.
a radius.
Give me a notice check as you use your enhanced senses, John Stone.
Beat it by 6.
There's like insect life and that sort of really small life, like worms in the ground, but none of these houses or pastures have anything in it. And nothing as big as even a squirrel or a bird is about.
What?
Can I use Sarah's memories to see if she recognizes any of these houses or the inhabitants that should be in there?
She's not from this particular area, but I'll give you that. Go ahead and roll against your mind score and see if she remembers anything. She did once. Yeah, roll against your mind score. She once did get taken in a car up this way to be deposited at the asylum against her will. So she has seen this road before.
Okay, and this is 12s?
Yes, you are in the middle. And you
rolled
can actually,
12.
because you're in 12s and using both minds, you can use either Tessa's mind score or Sarah's mind score.
I got a 12. I needed a 10.
All right. It's been too long that she spent inside that asylum to really recall any details. And she was also very distraught when they were forcing her to be institutionalized against her will.
Okay.
But yeah, there's no real life around Johnstone, none in the houses, though it really does look like there should be.
Huh. Can I sense any kind of electromagnetic signaling or interference anywhere?
You beat your notice check by 6. There's some radio waves, like old style, like AM, FM, or AM style radio waves, but they're static,
Huh. All right.
just plain static, and they seem to be originating from the nearby city that you were headed towards, New York City.
So, Crash, what do you know about this place? I mean, our mission, you were briefed on it, and didn't one of you guys know that creature we ran into? Luke, Wyatt?
I didn't know that creature specifically, but I came across something similar earlier. It was essentially a metaverse, but it was wrong. It was like its own pocket thing, and this creature had essentially set up camp there, and more or less was the absolute ruler of that area. It fed off of fear and torturing people. Harvester was its name. So like I said, I don't think that this is the same entity or one that I've come across, but it's that same type of creature. And I mean, now seeing absolutely no life here, I mean, the things have to be connected.
You're muted again, Christian.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right. Continuing traveling, another hour or so passes, getting closer towards this city. The smell of burnt buildings and smoke is really strong here, and there's almost a haze of smoke across the sky. Makes it even more unnerving with the sun being blocked out by this.
How exactly are we traveling?
Walking.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I suppose you could travel other ways, but I didn't make any assumptions.
Are there any vehicles nearby?
There's no cars. Horses are. I mean, there's no horses. There's nothing alive.
Livestock, yeah.
Is there anything with wheels? A carriage?
There's some,
Like
yeah,
a
there
plow.
were a few empty wagons and carts that you passed at these houses. Yeah.
Aha.
Hop in, I'll pull.
Cool. Shotguns.
If we got to walk by all this bleak farmland for hours upon hours, why don't we just make it minutes upon minutes so I don't have to deal with all the bleakness? Because this is ridiculous. This place is stupid. Let's get out of here.
Seconded that.
Get in the wagon. We'll be in Manhattan in 5 minutes. Hold on tight.
You begin hustling down the road, pulling this wagon with everyone on board behind it. And as you leave the tree line, you get into more pasture-type farmland as you get closer and closer to the city. One of these particular pastures off to your right, fenced in, contains the first sign of life that you've seen since you left the asylum. There must be thousands upon thousands of cattle in this pasture, all meandering slowly towards the city.
Okay.
Can I get notice checks from everyone, please?
Darn it.
What? We're rolling 8, correct?
Do we have meta points?
You have 3
Yeah.
meta points in the store to use. Yeah, you can absolutely move yourself on that slider.
Can I move towards Tessa, please?
How many spots would you like to move?
Well, one spot will move me to 10s, right?
Yep.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Full pilot, we're rolling 8s. Is that right?
Yep. Rolling 8s, but you cannot access your avatar sheet.
Correct.
Okay. Made it by 5.
Made it by 5. All right.
Oh, God.
Made it by 8.
Beat it by 13.
Wow. Wyatt.
I lost by 4.
Okay.
I'm having an off day.
It's all right. You are having an off day. It does happen. It's a really strange place. It can have that effect on people. The 3 of you noticed that a couple of things. First off, all of these cattle have a variety of different brands on them, which, none of you are cattlemen, but it does strike you as odd that so many different brands would be in a single herd. That usually doesn't happen until the slaughterhouse in most cases. You also notice that there's a few wandering, I guess you could call them farmhands, distributed throughout the herd. keeping them moving. And beyond them, you can see a small camp set up, like an old cowboy type camp with the covered wagon and a little fire going in front of it. And someone is sitting at that fire.
Do these appear to be just regular people, or are they, armed of some kind, or just regular farm people?
The farmhands have like prodding sticks that they're using to make the cattle move. And other than
real
that,
cowboys then.
yeah, it's hard to tell if they have any other kind of armaments because you can only see like their heads amid the herds of cattle. But if they do have them, they're not like carried in their arms or anything like that.
Well, we should probably go talk to him and see what's going on.
What? Okay. I'd stop the wagon.
Okay.
Thanks, bro.
No problem. Go talk to him. Come back.
All right. I hop out.
All right. It's easy to climb the fence. It's not particularly high. And climbing over it, you can kind of see, because there's so many cattle, the pathway that they have basically carved in the countryside. And a ways back, you can see that they've just destroyed a section of fencing to get into this pasture. And ahead, there's more fencing they've destroyed, and this just continuous herd of cattle all headed towards the city. Like they're completely ignoring property lines.
The farmers? And
Yeah,
and
the farmers and the herd. Yeah, just like this, it's like going a straight line to the city.
All right, I walk up to him and I say, where are you heading?
He turns to look at you, and this farmhand, his eyes are just completely bloodshot.
Nope. Come on. This is dumb. We're leaving.
He's got drool running down his chin, and he just kind of slightly turns and then just turns back to what he's doing and keeps prodding the cattle along. But as you move through, you get a better view of that campsite. There's a guy sitting at the campsite, has the classic cowboy type Western hat on and the long coat, sitting on a stool, and it looks like he's roasting a calf or something, or the leg of a calf over the fire.
You know what?
And he's eating a piece of it.
So that guy is obviously special.
Like he seems with it? Yeah.
None of these people are special. Let's leave.
The guy by the fire isn't special?
Nope. Nope. It's all just a trick. Just get in the wagon.
Okay.
You want to come back into the wagon, or are you going to go talk to that weirdo?
Well...
No, you want to talk to the weirdo, talk to the weirdo, but I'm just letting you know it's nothing.
You don't find it odd?
Of course it's odd. We just escaped from a mental asylum that wasn't real. It was just horror movie bullshit. Why do you think this is any different?
Because maybe he could give us information about what we can expect in the city.
No, Bessie's going to be as a soothsayer saying you're all going to die, because that's what part of the movie we're in.
Part of the movie? What movie is this from?
Does it? Well, it doesn't mean that he won't give us a clue, though. He's the only guy that seems to have his own brain and not a drone like the other guy.
Go get your clue then.
I've got enough Sarah in me that I'm gonna go talk to this person.
All right. As you get closer, he's definitely wearing, that classic Western cowboy hat and long coat. And he's got black clothes underneath, and you swear as you get closer, yeah, you're definitely certain. He's got the preacher's collar on and everything.
Yeah, of course he does.
He's a preacher. He's sitting on a stool and eating a leg from this roasted calf.
Wait, roasted cat?
Calf. C-A-L-F.
The calf of a cat?
No.
Yes.
A cat calf. I just go, excuse me, sir. I'm looking for my family. I think they're in the city, but I don't know what all these people are doing heading there. And cows.
We're bringing cattle to the city, little one.
Why?
Folks are hungry there.
Oh. You're going to feed the city with all these cows?
That's right.
Did the mayor do that?
Oh, no. The people are just hungry. And I'm here to bring them food.
Okay. Cool. Good luck. And then I turn
All
around.
right.
Did you get what you needed, sis?
Be
I
safe
did.
now, little
Did you
lady.
get it? Get your
I-
clue?
He's
Or is it
gonna
just a
feed
creepy
the
guy?
He's gonna feed the people cows. That's a clue.
Yeah, probably he's been feeding the cows people, and it's probably some sick cycle. Who cares? Let's move.
You spend too much time in the basement watching horror movies. You need to pipe down.
I'm just saying, if you want to follow false adventure hooks, you go right ahead, sis. You go right ahead.
Why
And
are
then
you
you're like, wow, we should have just kept going. That way we could have ignored all of that boring crap along the way that was just put there to scare us.
Oh, Jesus. Let's keep going.
Back to the
You
wagon.
return back to the wagon and continue heading down the road. Doesn't take long before you pass through the real outskirts of the city where the houses start to get closer together. And you can see the buildings ahead. From here, it's also obvious that not all of the city was burning, just like sections of it caught on fire. And at this point, have gone out or to the point where it's burned down to embers and is no longer actively burning. There's also some peculiarities that, because you're close enough to Sarah, you have her memories. They aren't peculiar to her, but they're peculiar to you. Like the flags that are hanging in front of homes and businesses are the Union Jack of England, and the business names are things like the Bank of England and things named after the Queen and the King. And you don't see a single American flag anywhere.
Oh.
Which again doesn't strike Sarah as odd at all, but seems odd to you.
Wait a second. Are we outside of New York or outside of New Amsterdam?
Isn't that the beginning of Mr. Jones?
Not sure what you're gonna get there, Crash.
I thought you were quoting a song. I'm sorry.
No. I right now I'm talking to our GM who said we're outside of New York. But if we're seeing all this stuff referencing things that are before New York was actually a place, how far back in time are we in this world?
Well, you believe it was 1904, according to
1904.
Right. So that's okay. Alternate universe. Never mind. So okay, I guess it makes sense for where we are.
Alternate history. Yeah.
Okay, you pass more of these houses and buildings, all then seemingly vacant. A lot of them have damage, as though the front doors were ripped off, windows were broken, fences are messed up here and there. And as you get further into the city, you approach your first open square in New York. And up ahead in the open square, dozens of men and women are beating each other to death. There's dozens more lying dead on the ground.
Yay, the sucky verse continues.
Unrelenting.
They're like broken bottles and broken like improvised club implements, even a few firearms laying on the ground here and there. Some of these individuals beating people are just beating on corpses at this point. It's obviously someone quite dead, and they just continue to hit them over and over and over again.
Maybe they're controlling them with the
We
cow
keep
meat.
moving instead of watching. You can skip the rest of your flavor text there.
Can I use my heightened sense to
I
see
don't
if it's
stop.
real or illusionary?
Well, what was that there, John? I didn't catch that.
Can I use my heightened senses to see if this is real or illusionary?
Give me a notice check and see what you can figure out from about these people that you're watching.
Haha, beat it by 16.
Oh, they're very much alive, extremely elevated heart rate and blood pressure. Like their hearts are just pounding. Some of them, by the way their bodies are behaving, that you detect with your heightened senses, they've been at this maximum level of exertion for some time and will probably exhaust themselves to death.
So these are real people, but they're just under some kind of control.
No,
And it's at that point that a couple of them look up from the corpses that they've been beating to death and see your approaching wagon. Grabbing various implements from the ground, they let out furious howls and rush down the street towards you.
I bring a building down on them. There's a wall between them and me now.
Can I take an athletics check as you attempt to knock down an entire building?
No. I'm literally going to kinetically cut the building at a perpendicular angle so it just slides off.
Give me a power use check in that case.
So beat it by 4? I don't know my sheet in front of me. I should look. Either 4 or 6. Does it matter if it's 4 or 6? Because I will look it up.
No, it doesn't.
Great.
It doesn't. I was just waiting for you in case it was important to you.
No.
4 or 6 is good enough. You managed to collapse a good section of a stone building. You think it might have been a bank at one point. It's hard to tell. Inside joke. And the entirety of the top of it collapses down in the street, and it hits some of them that are rushing at the front of the pack, crushing them underneath it, and kind of blocks off where you're going and the ones ahead of you for a moment. You can hear them trying to climb up the rubble on the other side, and you can hear shouting from other distant streets as though other individuals are closing in.
So I guess this is the 28 days later portion.
Well, he'll say this
Okay,
for the
I'm just
harvester
wondering.
species.
Nope.
They aren't super original in their ideas for making terror. Hashtag crash buff, because seriously this world is the worst.
Yeah. It wasn't me who named it the Suckyverse. It was the people who watched.
So if this is based on a movie you've seen, then what do we do next?
No, it's just kind of a conglomeration of all of them. And really, we just got to think a little bit outside the box.
Well, what are we trying to do here? We're trying to free this metaverse from whatever's controlling it, right?
We just got to find the monster, but we got to get through all of the crazy people to do it. It looks like they're all affected by different things. Like all the ones at the asylum were extra insane, and all the people who are angry in the street are extra angry. It's pretty contrived. So I imagine we just got to go closer, like, into the city, and then things will get weirder and weirder, and then, of course, the source of the evil will be there, and then we'll punch it, and then we can go the fuck home.
Well, that's anticlimactic. All right. What's the quickest route?
Whatever the climax is in this place isn't worth it. The payoff, not going to be worth it.
Who gave us this job?
That's what she said. Anyway, very well. So building.
I don't know what that means, John Stone. I don't know why she would say that.
She says a lot of things.
Yeah, I've noticed. I've seen The Office. Still don't know what it means.
Yeah. So you cut down a building on them, they're all dead.
No, mostly, only some of them are dead. But only the ones we would have had to have killed with our bare hands had they come this way.
Yeah, as we're moving forward, I do want to keep an eye out to see if there's any other likely weapons, because I think a confrontation is pretty much inevitable.
At the spot you're at where the rubble is, there are still several dead bodies and a variety of like improvised weapons. And give me a notice check, and we'll see what you find handy. What is the most effective thing you see handy near the wagon?
Beat it by 12.
Beat 12. You happen to be next to the corpse of a police officer, and his revolver still has 4 shells in it, and it's next to him.
Anybody want the revolver?
No, that's a dead cop's revolver. No, thank you.
I don't need it.
You take it, so we can shoot the next innocent people whose minds are clouded that decide to come and attack us.
I have flight. Does that mean I can fly?
That's exactly
that
what
does
that
mean
means.
that you can fly.
So should I maybe fly ahead and scout?
We can both do that. We can just carry the whole wagon along if we really need to.
Why do we need the wagon? I'd rather be on foot.
So would I, but I was tired of walking, and we were going to just stay and look at all of the stupid scenery.
Well, let's fly. You can carry John, and I'll carry Wyatt.
Okay. Where are we flying to?
I don't know, but a bird's eye view sounds a lot better than running through mobs of angry people.
1904? So what, Chrysler Building?
Yeah, well, it is the tallest building that we can see.
Well, in this time period, it's referred to as Times Tower, which will later be known as, the New York Times building of Times Square. It, in fact, just was completed construction last year.
Well, all right then.
Other than that, there are some very tall churches and cathedrals. And the rest of the buildings are probably within about 6 to 12 stories at the most. And even those are fairly tall among the vast majority of buildings.
Skyscrapers, real ones. Well, let's get on the roof of one of those.
Yeah.
All right, you fly above, and as you're flying up, you can see that quite a large mob of angry individuals was converging from different streets towards where your wagon was, howling and shouting and throwing rocks through the air. And when they reach the wagon, they just rip it apart and then set in upon each other shortly thereafter, just more howling and beating.
They cooperate long enough just to take the wagon apart.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know why, but evidently
Tell me what's his wheel.
It's less controlled than that. They rip the wagon apart physically.
With their bare human hands.
Yes.
So are they super strong?
No, it just takes quite a few of them.
So they worked together long enough to tear the wagon apart? That first thing I said was right? Okay.
All right.
So we're high up in this building, is that right?
On the roof of a nearby building, if you're about 6 floors up, still close enough to the ground where you have a good view of things. And high enough where you have a better view of the entirety of the city. The fires from here seem like they're very patchy. Like they didn't take entire neighborhoods anywhere in the whole city. They just took a block or so here, a building over there, 2 or 3 buildings somewhere else. And it's hard to say when they started, as the damage is fairly similar, but whatever happened probably happened around the same time. And everyone on the top of the building, give me notice checks to see what you can see from up there.
Beat it by 3.
Beat it by 3.
Beat it by 11.
Excellent.
Beat it by 8.
Also me. 8.
All 4 of you at about the same time make out in one of the streets about 4 blocks down. One of those mobs is the first thing you see, but instead of running towards you or towards this direction where they were feeding each other, the first thing you notice is they're running a different direction. Then you can see just ahead of them, maybe 20 or 30 yards, looks like a small boy on foot, like dashing around the different corpses and running, and he reaches a building, running inside and slamming the door shut behind him. And they impact the front of that building, and they start beating on the door and smashing at the glass windows, trying to get inside.
Okay. Are we going there? We're going there, right?
Yep.
Might as well.
Neat. Before we get down to where that is, let's just clear that ground of anything that might be trying to get in.
And how are you going to do that, sir?
Violently.
A ruckus? Who's down for a ruckus? Ruckus? Everybody? Ruckus?
Something with an air of finality to it.
So we are going to hurt the possessed people.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to hurt all of them. Or anything that gets in our way. We're going to hurt it.
Can we just build a barricade?
Yeah, we can absolutely do that.
All right.
Yeah, we can try to snowplow through them.
I'm going to go into the building where the kid is through the top.
All right. You fly over to the building and land on the roof. You kind of have to make your own entrance as there is no roof access.
Yeah, I will do less landing on the roof and do more landing on the ground floor of that building.
Ah. Okay, you make a large hole in the roof and plunge through. The rest of you.
I'll bring anybody who wants to come along.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right.
Cool.
Sure, let's go.
All right. You follow Crash through his makeshift entrance. Landing on the ground floor, you can hear the mob outside trying to smash their way in. There is a small boy down here on the ground floor. He's pushing furniture up against the front door. Like, it's taken everything he has, but he's like sliding a dresser over and a table over, trying to block the front door off.
Cool, that'll be fine. Hey, kid.
He freezes as he hears your voice and kind of turns and looks for a second, takes a step back. The first thing you can tell he's doing is looking for a place to run.
Well, either Crash and I can hold the door. We just need to find out what this kid's doing here.
So you're You're not crazy?
You're not crazy either. That's good news.
No, I seen you down at the square. I was headed that way because you didn't look like the other ones, and then you
Flew
went
away.
into the sky, and then they saw me and they started chasing me. The angry ones. You must be like Mr. Winston.
Could be. Hold that thought, and I'm gonna go and make all of the stuff he's put in front of the door with like a dresser and some chairs and crap, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll just make those immovable.
Sounds fair. Give me a power use roll.
9. Okay, yeah, beat it by 9.
Everything in front of that door is not moving short of something like a locomotive hitting it.
Right.
So none of you is crazy, right?
No, who's Mr. Winston?
Mr. Winston, he saved me and some of the other orphans, and he was looking for other orphans in the city, and then somebody shot him, and now he's hurt, and I went out to find him medicine. Do you guys have any medicine?
Yeah.
We have ways to heal people, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, they hurt him. He's hurt bad.
It's okay. I'm a doctor. Holy shit, I'm a doctor.
Yeah, Mr. Winston saved me. I was running from one of these mobs and I got cornered, and then Mr. Winston showed up and he pointed his hands, and then there was bright flashing lights, and then the mob they all were running away.
Huh.
All right, you're gonna have to take us to Mr. Winston.
All right, but we got the door blocked, so we're gonna have to go. Well, you can fly, I guess, but
We're gonna go up.
Okay. It's not real far, but we got to be careful if we go up in the air because that's where the gargoyles are.
Yeah, we're not gonna stay up there long. I'm just gonna go out that hole. You got to tell me what streets I'm going to, though.
Okay, we just be careful, as the gargoyles will get you if you stay on the roof.
That's why I want you to tell me now.
Okay, it's 6 blocks that way is the orphanage. He points off to his left.
Thank you.
It's not really far. It just the gargoyles are up there, and if you get on the roof, the gargoyles will get you. Mr. Winston told us we're not supposed to go up on the roof because the gargoyles will get us.
Yeah, the gargoyles sound very dangerous, and I don't want to mess with them too much, but they can't get me, so I'm not going to worry.
Does Sarah know who Mr. Winston is?
The name does not sound familiar. She doesn't know a Winston.
And she makes pianos for all the elite?
Yes.
So that's odd. All right.
Yep, she makes pianos for all kinds of elite individuals.
He's either not a piano player, not elite, or both.
Well, he had these powers, I guess. He's not... He must be one of us, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But we're going to go find him, so... Let's get
So how come you guys aren't crazy?
I think it's because we just got here.
You just got here?
We were just visiting.
Oh, man, it's been bad. The whole city just stopped, and then everybody started rioting, and then people were killing each other, and then I ran and I tried to hide. And
How come you're not crazy, kid?
I haven't met any kid who's crazy. Mr. Winston's been saving all the kids. He's got a bunch of them in the orphanage.
Figured it out. We're not crazy because we're crazy.
Shh.
No. You get me, though, right?
That does make a weird amount of sense.
But Sarah isn't crazy. She was only accused of it.
I get what you're saying, Crash. I mean, I assume you mean that our mental situations make us immune to whatever is messing with these other people, right? Something like that?
Right. Well, that and the pilot-avatar relationship, I imagine, has a bit to do with it as well. Well, let's go find your Mr. Winston, kiddo. What's your name?
Well, my birth name is William, but all my friends call me Billy.
Okay, Billy. Well, I'm Crash, and this is John, and this is Tessa, and this is Wyatt, and we are your friends.
Wow, Crash, that's a really cool name.
Thank you. Let's get going, okay?
Okay. But we got to watch out for the gargoyles.
Gargoyles, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard you the third time.
Yeah, Mr. Winston says you can't go on the roof because the gargoyles will get you.
Have you seen a gargoyle?
No.
Okay.
It's the real gargoyles. Now I have to go see.
I don't know. It sounds like something to scare a kid from getting in your business.
Maybe. Around here, I would doubt it.
Well, we can go find out.
So we're going in the building, right? The Times
Okay.
Tower.
Yep.
The orphanage he pointed out is about 6 blocks away. It probably is not Times Tower.
Oh.
Times Tower is over towards Manhattan.
Well, either way, let's hop out and go. No waiting, no waiting.
All right, you grab hold. So who's carrying 2 passengers since?
I guess me, since
Okay.
I can.
All right. So the 2 of you fly up through the roof, and he clearly was not exaggerating. As you're getting close to the roof, the hole that you created, you can see what must be gargoyles circling, like the actual stone carvings from buildings and cathedrals come to life and circling over the top of the building, like
See,
they're waiting for you.
That's just stupid.
Huh. All right. How many of them are there?
It's hard to be certain, but at least 4, probably 6,
Yowza.
just circling over the top of the building.
Are they flying?
Yes,
They're
absolutely.
flying with their great
Flying.
stone wings.
Pure stone and flying.
See, it's this kind of bullshit, Tessa, that I'm talking about. They expect us to take this seriously. Those are flying statues. Those wings are not going to hold anything aloft.
I mean, we ran into a lot of improbable stuff in our time.
I'm sorry, but this is where I draw the line.
Aren't we kind of improbable ourselves? I mean, I got a brother in my head, you know.
Right. Right.
Strangely enough that you mentioned it, John, you have not heard a peep from Eli since you got into this metaverse.
Yeah, I just realized that. But I also have, 5 other people, so it's kind of crowded.
It is.
All right, well, we need to get to Winston, so how do we bypass gargoyles, flying gargoyles?
We let them chase us for a second.
Maybe if they crash into each other, they'll explode into rubble.
Oh, almost certainly. That seems like the kind of bullshit that they would try and pull.
Yeah, maybe we can each divert some and then run back in and...
Well, I'm out that hole, and I'm flying towards that 6 blocks, and I'm gonna let them chase me.
All right. As soon as you clear the hole, they are chasing towards you, making swooping, screaming attacks towards you with their silent, open mouths.
I was gonna say, you don't have vocal cords!
No, they just have this permanent open mouth. It's kind of disturbing to see. And the stone crunches and crumbles as the wings flap and like powdery bits of stone fall off of it. It's really strange to see.
That's just shoddy masonry.
I will take initiative rolls from anyone flying out of the building.
Well, I mean, we're all flying. Right?
Well, I don't want to speak for you. I know Crash said that he was flying out, so.
Well, yeah.
But I'm taking John and the kid with me, so...
Correct.
I got Wyatt.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm coming along.
Do we want high for this or low?
Yes, ma'am.
27.
And you're on 12s for initiative no matter where you are on the slider.
Oh. Oh, shit. I should have stayed with my other roll. That's a 8.
All right.
I got a 16.
John is 16. And Wyatt, what are you at?
18.
An 18. All right. Crash, like a bolt of lightning, you fly up out of the hole way too fast for these things to get at you initially, carrying even 2 people. Are you just going to head straight towards the building?
No, I'm gonna head about 3 blocks towards the building, and then let them chase me, and then I'm gonna see if they do.
Oh, yes. They 100% seem to be chasing you, but there's going to be people that get to act before they get to do anything.
Great. So I will hold my actual action then until
Okay.
they act.
In point of fact, if it does not spout water away from the roof, it isn't a gargoyle. It's a grotesque. Both were meant to protect the buildings they were attached to from evil spirits. Hashtag the more you know, hashtag Wyatt Buff.
Nicely done. Thanks, Chad.
Hyacinth.
Adorable. Wyatt, you would be next. You are being suspended.
I think my favorite thing is chat-splaining.
Chat-splaining. I like that.
I would like to roll a knowledge check just to see what additional information I can figure out about the gargoyles themselves. Like,
Absolutely.
beat it by 5.
By 5. You are certain that some supernatural force has animated these stone constructions, and you are also fairly certain that they are paying no heed to Crash or yourself or John. They are solely interested in little Billy.
Okay, and I will relate that to everyone. It looks like these things are specifically coming after the kid.
Yeah. Yeah, of course they're...
Huh.
Of course they are.
Is he special somehow?
No, but he is screaming, absolutely terrified.
That's exactly what they want.
Yep.
They're feeding... They're like little feeding tentacles. Sucking all the fear off the kid.
So like Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, a little bit.
Huh.
John, you are up next, sir, and being pulled aloft by Tessa, I believe. Or no, Tessa's pulling Wyatt. Sorry.
I got you.
Crash has John. So they are in pursuit of you and Crash and Billy, it would seem.
Am I... Okay, wait a second. So I am with Billy and Crash.
Yes,
Right.
he's kind of just holding you with one hand by like the back of your shirt or something, I would guess.
Basically, you feel my hand on the back of your back, flat-handed.
I want to use a very, very low-powered static charge.
Okay.
Just enough to sedate Billy.
All right. Shocking Billy into unconsciousness. Okay. Go ahead and you can use either fighting or shooting because it's whether you want to shoot him with it or touch him with it. But one of those is going to need to be done. He is within physical reach, so it's your choice which method you want to use to deliver the shock.
You guys know how electricity works, right?
Yep. It's going to travel through the body to you, sir.
But to him, too.
Yes. You are going to create a nice closed loop of electricity.
Why does John Stone not know how electricity works?
It's a small amount of electricity, just enough. It's not going to bother me at all.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't care.
Me
And
either.
You're Crash. How's it going to bother you?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'll be fine. It's just when somebody's holding you 6 stories over an open street in the middle of Manhattan, do you really want to shock them?
He just thought
It's
you'd
not
take
for-
all that electricity in the insane asylum. You got Zeus on your side. You're cool.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's just enough to knock him unconscious. It's not going to affect you at all.
Oh, no, I'll be fine.
I mean, you could try talking to him, but
He's freaking out. He needs to be... If they're feeding off this fear, I just want him to not be afraid.
yeah.
So he's gonna sleep for a little bit. All right. So we're rolling against Mr. James.
Either fighting or shooting. Your choice which method you want to use for delivering.
He doesn't have a dodge bonus.
Not a problem here. Boom, boom. Do this. Easy. Beat it by 6.
Beat it by 6. You deliver the low-grade shock. For yourself, for keeping track for later, Crash, that's the equivalent of 10 points to use as you see fit at a future date. The 10 points delivered to yourself, John, you completely ignore. And the 10 points delivered to Billy puts him out like a light. Eyes rolled up into his head. You basically just tasered him.
Oh.
Now they don't have any. Now they can't feed off of his fear. So what are they doing now?
Well, it would now go to them, except I know that Crash is holding his action, is going to interrupt what they're doing.
I'll wait for them. It's fine.
And they are going to make dive bomb attempts to try and pull Billy free from Crash's hands and take off with him.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, well,
probably because he's a kid.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do. As soon as they start diving towards me after he's even unconscious, I will stop one of them.
Excellent. Give me a power use.
That's 6, so I beat it by 10. Hacksaw.
Whoa, Hacksaw using the buff in the store. Make sure Hacksaw gets used, and all 6 of these gargoyles get stopped dead in their tracks. As they stop immediately moving, they all just crumble to dust and fall towards the ground in a big cloud of rock. Just ground up, powdered rock, slowly descending.
Nice.
Flying around like rocks. Ridiculous.
Hey, physics don't work the same in their world.
I've never been a fan.
Yeah, kind of just scattered among the rampaging crowd of angry people below.
I had to learn a lot about physics since I almost caused a nuclear holocaust with a pebble once.
True story.
Thought I was going to destroy most of, what was it, Nevada?
Yeah.
This is bad news. Severely underestimated the abilities of kinetic manipulation.
Okay, what's happening?
We are flying 6 blocks to find Mr. Winston.
It is very quick to fly to this building that he pointed out before he went out like a light. Much like the other building, there isn't a rooftop access, but there are some like balcony type things on the upper floors with doors attached to them. So you don't have to make a hole in the roof if you don't want to.
I'm going to not do it this time.
Okay.
Because I'm holding a kid.
All right, you land
on
on
the wrecking ball.
Yes, you land on one of these balconies. The doorway there seems to be not locked, but as though someone has put up furniture up against it. You believe with your incredible strength, it wouldn't be too much of a feat to force the door open, however.
Yeah, I'm going to knock first.
Everyone give me notice checks.
And you just tell me how many people are moving inside.
Beat it by 6, sir.
Beat it by 6.
Beat it by 4.
Beat it by 12.
12, wow.
Beat it by 3.
3. All right, all of you hear like the squeaky voices of children, like letting out frightened little screams for just a second, and then like hear them like pattering across different floors and sliding things and climbing over or under things, and then the attempt to be very quiet. Crash your kinetic energy. You pick up the movement of 23 small forms.
All right.
Jesus. Can I use persuasion to talk them?
There's a couple dozen kids in there.
Yeah, they're all
How do you want
terrified.
to pull that off? How do you want to pull that off, Tessa? Talk me through it.
Is there a window? Is it just the doors?
There's doors. There's a couple of windows, but like the doors, it looks like furniture has been pushed up against them.
Am I able to crack a window so that I can talk to these kids through the window?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Let's hear it.
Oh, I'll just say. Hold on. Let me go into a Sarah a little bit. I'll just say. Hey kids, it's me, it's Sarah. I live here. I'm not crazy. What's happening in there?
You hear a couple of gasps and like someone's about to talk, and then someone else nudged them, go, shh, be quiet. Maybe they'll go away.
We've got Billy with us. We're here to see Mr. Winston. We brought a doctor.
There's a couple more whispers, and then you feel or hear some pattering across the floor, and hear some furniture getting dragged away from the door. And it takes a few minutes, but a couple of pieces of furniture get dragged away, and then the door just cracks just a little bit, and you can see like part of a tiny face looking with one eye through the door.
Hello.
What's wrong with Billy?
He's asleep.
You're not crazy?
Nope.
They're not crazy. Are all of you not crazy?
All of us are not crazy.
All of them aren't crazy. Do I let him in? And there seems to be some debate for a minute, and then slowly the door opens, and the other little boy steps away. And you can see there are 23 children in not the best state scattered about this room. Their clothes are dirty. Some of them have some obvious superficial injuries that have been tended to by someone.
I ask where Winston is.
It's over here. They take you to the only full-size bed, and there is a man in his late 30s. He looks like he has a bad, half-heartedly patched up, bandaged bullet wound in his left shoulder.
Yikes. Okay.
He's pale and he's sweating a lot. Looks like infection is set in. He's not doing particularly well.
Great. What do we have in the store?
You have 2 meta points, 1 badass, 1 prison rules, and a meta meltdown.
All right, let's use a meta point.
All right, using a meta point. Going 1 towards Avatar.
That's the only way I can go right now.
Just double checking. Letting a little bit of Michael out.
Making a medicine check.
All right, give me that medicine check.
Can't promise this is going to go great. These are 12s, but still beat my medicine score by 4. So, all right.
All right, he does have an infected gunshot wound, and you are able to do some cursory work for it. It looks like there's some really basic first aid stuff on hand, but the first aid kit looks like the majority of it was used to tend to the injuries of these kids.
Can I craft for him? Because I've got, I can make tools and weapons and manufactured items.
Yeah, I could
Absolutely.
definitely use some good medical equipment. Or
Yeah, I'll craft for him as Sarah.
Excellent.
And so while they're working, I kind of entertain the kids with cyborg stuff because I've never seen a cyborg before. So they're like, hey.
I want to hear this.
Hashtag clarity. My sincerest apologies about chat's planing. My sister loves to lecture about historical architecture.
There is nothing to apologize for.
No,
Thank you.
I wasn't trying to pick on you, Merc. I just thought it was a funny phenomenon that we get to experience here on Metaverse, and I'm a fan of it. Chat's
Thank you so much. We now have 3 moments of clarity in the store. For those of you not familiar, moments of clarity allows you to, no matter what part of the slider you're on, no matter which side, use any skill from any of your character sheets at the lowest dice of 2d8. But
That's
it only
a beautiful
works
thing.
for 1 skill check, and then it is used.
Thank you, Merc.
There are 3 of those in the store, though. Those are valuable. Don't hesitate to use them, though.
You don't understand. They are so valuable. Like when you're all the way one thing or the other and you really need that other thing, man, that is a great way to go. Plus, you don't have to spend the sacrifice of moving yourself away from where you want to be on the spectrum. It's maybe my favorite thing in the store.
Much appreciated. Thank you very much, chat. So yeah, you're able to, with the assistance of Tessa, manufacturing some simple medical stuff. She makes a set of forceps and the like that you use, and you're able to get this bullet out and patch it up a lot better. Judging by the work, he tried to do some basic first aid on himself and then passed out.
Yeah.
And hasn't been up since.
So, hey, Billy.
Billy is totally out like a light still.
Oh, he's still out? Oh. Yeah. While you guys are crafting medical stuff, can you get little smelling salts for Billy here?
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, Merc, I'm just going, zzz, 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 and they're like, ooh.
Nice. Doing some dancing lights with the electricity between your fingers. You very much have the crowd of small children entertained. Several of them, you hear some say things along the lines like, "He's like Mr. Winston."
Ah, so clearly Mr. Winston isn't.
Speaking of Mr. Winston.
Yes. Speaking of, you've dug the bullet out. The wound looks a lot better.
He just needs sleep now, I assume? There's
Either
nothing-
that, or you could potentially wake him up. But he, judging by how bad he was off before and the medical roll you made, he probably wasn't going to wake up.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna try to wake him up.
It takes a little bit, but you finally rouse him up. What the devil?
He said, "What the devil?" 1904 sucks.
Travelers. Travelers here. How did you? What are you? Oh, bloody hell! Never mind all that. Aha! That stinks. Aha.
Yeah. Well, it should have killed you because you are a terrible doctor.
Ah, yes. I got it. I didn't never spent much time studying medicine or anatomy. So you're here to help then, and I'm glad you're here. But wait, did you do this? Are you responsible for all this? Wait, no, you couldn't have been. How could you? No, that.
Okay, if you're just gonna ask questions and then answer them yourselves, you can do that with your mouth closed, Winston.
I'm sorry. It's just I've never seen travelers here in my world before.
Aha. So where are you normally from, Mr. Winston?
This is where I'm normally from. This is my home.
Are you a pilot?
Pilot?
Never mind.
I've lived here my whole life and I don't remember you.
It's New York City.
Yeah, but I get around. We'll leave it at that.
Myself and my friends have taken great pains to not be noticed.
Are you a magician?
It's much easier to be a traveler when you're not noticed.
How did you come to have all these kids here with you?
I set out to save them when the city went to hell and the riots started. The children were, they didn't seem to be affected. So I tried to save them from the mobs.
And why aren't you affected?
I can't be certain. It all started 3 days ago. Diane Fordsworth and I had just gotten back from traveling.
Good old Diane. She's still in the Navy?
I'm sorry?
No, sorry. It's just that's something we say when you mention somebody none of us have ever frickin' heard of before. In a conversational way.
All right. Well, Diane Fordsworth and I had just gotten back from traveling. We had been visiting the world of the flying people, but something went wrong. Some kind of madness had taken hold of the royal court there. We tried to reason with them, tried to stop them, but they wouldn't listen, and so it came to blows. During the fight, Fordsworth was badly injured, and Diane was nearly killed by grappling with the maddened Feathered King. While they fought, something strange was happening. I saw something like us, but not like us. It was inside the Feathered King, like how we travel, but not the same. It tried to pull Diane out. I tried to remove her from her avatar, tried to pull her free, and I had to save her. So I withdrew from our traveling stone, and then I physically pulled Diane's body free. But something happened. She opened her eyes, and there was something terribly wrong. All I could feel was overwhelming fear, and I ran. I ran. I didn't look back.
You did this. You did this.
I abandoned her. Fordsworth too. I just left them there.
Oh.
And then you came back and everything was wrong in your world?
Everything was just changed here. There was burning and fighting and killing. Only children seemed to be untouched by it.
Yeah, you brought back a virus.
Winston, Earlier, we encountered some kind of powerful, impish creature who seemed to have been causing this. Do you know what that was?
I'm sorry, I do not. I've seen all kinds of horrors in the past 2 days, but nothing like that. The gargoyles have been the worst.
Oh man, we just dusted like 6 of those guys. Bad news.
So, Crash, what were you briefed on before we came here? I mean, does this make sense at all?
No, of course it doesn't. Why would this make sense?
Huh. Tess?
No, I'm.
Here's what it looks like to me. Cursory glance. These two went somewhere that they've been before, some metaverse with the Feathered King. We don't know what that is. He had something in his head, right? They brought it back with them. It's kind of like what happened to Zenda and the blacksmith.
So he brought back an infection with him.
Yeah.
It doesn't infect children.
No, if this thing is anything like the thing that Wyatt and his gang dealt with back in the day, then children are its best source of food.
Yeah, that was absolutely the case in our experience.
There were no grown-ups there at all, right?
Not a one.
Yeah, that place had time to kind of sink its claws in there. I mean, I imagine kids are kind of immune to it. And us for some reason. All right, Winston, what can you do?
I bend light.
You what? Bend light?
Yes. I bend and manipulate light.
So illusions, making things invisible, possible offensive capabilities.
It takes a lot out.
Huh. So anywhere from floodlight to laser.
I don't understand what you mean, laser.
Well, I mean, can you really focus and concentrate it really to like a really powerful focused point?
If I have enough light to work with, yes.
Or a magnifying glass.
Yes, in fact, a magnifying glass is very useful to me. I usually carry one. It was broken in my last altercation.
Is there a point, a source of energy, with the source where all of it's coming from? Have you seen that?
I can't say for sure other than when it all started, when I pulled Diane out, I pulled her out of our traveling stone.
And where is she now?
I
Mostly still there, wherever you were, I'm guessing.
Where the traveling stone is, in Times Tower.
Times Tower.
Seems like we might have to go to the tower.
Yeah. Where the traveling stone is? Is it still open? Is it still working?
I don't know. Getting to that side of town is difficult. There are worse things than gargoyles that way. I tried to go a few blocks away to look for children there, and I just found myself back here.
All right, we need to get to that stone.
There's something that twists the way your mind sees things when you're headed there, and you end up back where you started.
Oh, so it is affecting you.
Yes, the closer you get there, the more difficult it is to maintain your concentration, to even think.
Okay. Keep that in mind, I guess.
Yeah. Someone's got to stay with the kids, yeah? Winston, you want to stay in with the kids and protect the kids?
Of course I will protect these children.
Okay.
Do you have anything more than light tricks? Do you need a gun or something?
I don't use guns.
That's hindering. Okay.
Do we have any like a radio, any way to communicate with you while we're away?
I I've tried to listen into the radio, but the stations are just static now.
So basically
We don't have enough electronics to build them anything either. Otherwise, I could throw something together for them.
but the frequencies are clear.
Oh, yeah.
If I can just talk on a frequency, that might be enough.
You can control radio frequencies?
I can do some interesting things. All of us can.
He's fancy.
That's amazing.
So I tell you what, let me just see what this radio here can pick up, and I can find a proper frequency that has enough range from how far away is the tower?
Manhattan area, so not very far, only a couple miles.
Can you see it from here, from the balcony here?
No, you cannot. Not with all the smoke in the air.
All right. So I just adjust the radio to a frequency that I can communicate on, and cool. Here you go.
All right, give me a computer's roll to adjust your internal frequencies to match that of the local radio.
Are we familiar with travel stones, or is this like a new thing for us?
This is totally a thing we've done before.
Okay, so we don't need him for help with the stone.
The vocabulary.
We only found in places of extreme power, like of importance to the civilization. It's weird for there to be one in Times Tower.
Okay, so like Stonehenge, basically.
It's below the basement.
Oh,
yeah, I imagine it would have to be. I didn't think they built it in the lobby, Winston.
I beat it by 11.
Beat it by 11. It doesn't take you long. The radio tech is not particularly fancy, and it's really easy to hop onto the airwaves. But you are now essentially able to broadcast in AM.
Very good.
If this stone takes me to 1700 Scotland, I will not be sad.
But I'm also got to modify it so it'll go both ways.
Yay, patriarchy.
Yes, you will need to modify his AM radio if you want him to be able to broadcast to you from it.
Good. Yeah. Okay. So I'll do that then.
I want to travel back to Scotland so I can get treated like crap by some guy.
It's a great love story, bro.
It sure was at the beginning.
Oh, you guys are fantastic.
And there are 4 of us.
Can I get you to roll some kind of an engineering or
One of us is a woman.
roll to modify his radio so that he can send signals to you as well?
Yeah.
Done. Beat it by 3.
All right. It takes you just a little bit of tinkering, and you're able to convert it so that he can send signals back to you.
All right. Cool. Let's get out of here. Unless you guys got something else you want to do while we're here.
He's got places to be,
That's
things
right.
to do.
I am done with this crappy world.
I would suggest just perhaps a more subtle approach.
Oh, what did you have in mind, Winston?
Dress up as kids?
Probably not what you did, because that didn't work at all.
No, I tried to fight my way through once, and I tried to go from the rooftops the second time, and then the third time I tried to just walk through the streets and take the back ways and back alleys, and all 3 of these methods just brought me back here.
Huh.
Okay, so something is messing with either your inner ear or your brain, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Then there are workarounds.
Yeah.
Yes. I believe there are. The past of the old city might be worth trying.
Is that underground, I assume?
Yes, if you can find a way in, if you can ignore or not be seen by whatever this thing is.
Oh, I wanted to know I'm coming.
Underground, like...
Yes, much of the city here is built on the old city. It's beneath us, under the streets and under the buildings.
Oh, kind of like the Seattle Underground.
Yes,
And
there was
you-
a great fire here when the rebellion happened and King George's forces put down the rebellion.
This is what
Kept the
another
flag of Her
pilot
Majesty
looks
flying.
like. One who
Boom.
doesn't know
Dude,
what any of
revisionist
this
history. I
is.
love it.
And Crash is so hard. So angry. So intolerant. It's rough to see. Hashtag hack attack.
Oh, they are building more towards that hack attack that is in the store. Building more towards the hack attack.
By the way, for those who may not know, what does a hack attack do?
Oh, just about anything they want to add. Examples include floods, transforming stagecoaches with drinking problems. Let's see. There was a slushy machine that was semi-intelligent and followed them around. There are all kinds of strange things that are hack attacked. Slurpee machine, sorry. It was a Slurpee machine. There have been a variety of things that were hacked over time. Reese is still around, a bunny. I mean, yeah, there's just been, you name it. Transforming Winnebago, there has been a kick towards transforming vehicles at certain points. And yeah, a lot of floods. Floods were pretty common for hack attacks for a while.
All right, let us go.
All right, you head down, I'm guessing, then? Are you going to take his advice or no? I'm not really sure with the attitude Crash was throwing out. He might have a different option that he wants to take.
Yeah, I'm going down.
Down is fine. Go ahead, throw us into your dungeon adventure, Hook. I'm here.
It's going down. I'm getting. Bye. You better move.
No, it doesn't take you too long to find an access in the lower floor of this building into the old underground. And while it's slightly cramped in some areas, it is remarkably smoke-free, and there are no angry mobs of people. It is, in fact, quite still.
Better.
Is it quiet? Too
Yeah.
quiet?
No, you can still hear what's going on above, so it's not dead quiet. Like the angry mobs are definitely still up above doing angry mob things.
I'm down here.
But yeah, they're
And
above.
I'm angry.
Yeah, Crash is angry, but he's an angry individual, not an angry mob. This is an important fact.
Have you eaten recently?
No,
Your
no.
blood sugar might be dropping.
I don't know if this guy has a blood sugar problem. I think he's probably fine. Except for the fact that he thinks he's the Archangel Michael, which is a bit of a problem.
So what can we see down here?
It's like I said, it is what it looks like is it used to be older, smaller, more dirt-like roads, and then the foundations of these buildings were put up on top of the remains of other buildings. There's some still old damage down here, like a lot of these buildings that used to be standing were destroyed in fires or in some kind of battle. And as you're making your way through these different passages, many of them ending in dead ends and having to double back, there's even some old sign like musket balls embedded in the wall and things. There was definitely a fight here about a century and a half ago.
Huh. All right.
And like I said, you have to double back quite a few times, but you eventually start making progress towards the Manhattan area of New York. At one point, you do pass a building that had a very well, the history buffs among you recognize it as one of the first forms of American flags used during the Revolutionary War. But it's all torn up and dirty and crushed into the ground and partially burnt.
Jeez.
What a dump.
Yeah, down here is not the best, but it is at least moderately safe compared to what's above. It's more than an hour of traveling through these different side paths and working your way over and under things. You don't encounter any kind of trouble or resistance. And if something is turning you around, it at least is making it look like it's a brand new territory that you're covering, because you don't seem to be ever back on the same pathway that you were on before.
Hey, Wyatt. So,
Yeah.
Well, with the revisionist history and all the scary monsters that are coming from a very cerebral, darkest nightmares kind of place, it's like King meets Abercrombie, right?
That is an apt description, yes.
Yeah, mashup metaverses are the worst.
So can I use my heightened senses to see if there's anything around here that is interesting or amiss or
Absolutely.
deceptive?
Give me some notice checks.
Notice.
Give me a notice check to see what your heightened senses pick up.
And now people get confused and turned around, right? He said that.
Yep, he said that definitely has happened. Every time he has tried to approach the Manhattan area, he has ended up right back where he started from.
Was he implying it doesn't happen down here, or he just thought that maybe it'd be better
He
down here?
thought maybe it wouldn't happen. It was not a proven theory yet.
Okay. So I also want to point out that I have a skill called Mind Shield.
Yes,
So
I know you do.
if there is something that's kind of messing with people's minds and making us get turned around, I want to be able to, use that to ward off any confusions.
I am fully aware that both you and Crash Jackson both have Mind Shield.
Alrighty then. So let me roll some stuff. Bam.
Yep, give me a notice check for your enhanced senses, and let's see what you find down here.
Beat it by 9, sir.
Beat it by 9. There are a lot of rats and like small other animals and the like down here, a lot of bugs. You can't locate any human type or larger life forms. And it doesn't seem like the amount of rats down here is like a disproportionate number. But they're definitely around, and they flee whenever 4 bodies get close to them. They're not willing to confront 4 people. They're definitely behaving in a natural fashion. But something you're able to pick up from them is as you're moving forward, there comes a point where they stop as though they aren't going any further, but you continue to go further from that point and leave these rats and bugs and the like behind you.
And am I aware of anything that might be able to warp our perception of where we are? Am I aware there's a force that's confusing people?
Nothing seems to be registering. You can't feel anything, and you don't detect anything of any sort that's doing anything like that.
All right.
But it is entirely possible, and it's just something you can't pick up. But if it is, it's not affecting you.
Okay.
Or at least you're pretty certain it's not.
All right.
So you travel more through these underground area, and you get well past the plant where there's no longer any bugs or rats or the like. There's a lot of old cobwebs and dirt, and you also start to notice at this point that the angry mob sounds from above are just gone. There's nothing. It's very, very quiet up above you. Like dead quiet up there. The sound of all the feed is gone. Just silence. The silence of being trapped below ground and silence above you.
Do we know where to come up?
You're not 100% certain, but somebody who's like really aware of their surroundings might be able to figure that out. And there's a few people in this group who could definitely qualify towards attempting to figure that out.
Yeah,
all of you.
Let's just map the place real quick, okay?
All right. What are we rolling for?
Notice will be a good check. Investigation might work for you.
I'm gonna do power usage.
In your case, power usage would definitely be possible. Wyatt could make a knowledge check. There's a variety of ways they could go about this.
Beat it by 13.
Wow.
9.
Beat it by 13 as well.
Wow, a couple of critical successes. You are able to not only map this out perfectly, but you know precisely where you are. You know you are within 2 blocks of the Times Tower at this point. And you also know that most of the underground ends about 50 yards in front of you, and you're going to need to head up to the surface.
Right, but there's not that, like, the things that we're moving around above us are not moving around above us up here, right?
No, you do pick up some really slight motion from like coming out of the building in like a single roadway.
Right,
but it's really slight.
But it's not multitudes and multitudes of people just running and...
No, not at all. not all. It almost has a really even tempo to it. Like
almost as once we crossed that line where people were getting confused, now we're in kind of a quiet area, an eye of the storm type area psychically.
Yeah, perhaps so. And with that, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, guys. We will be right back with more Masters in the Metaverse here on the Zombie Orpheus Entertainment channel here on Twitch. We'll see you in 5 minutes or so, guys.
See you in 5.
Welcome back, everybody. Here we are back on Masters of the Metaverse on the Zombie Orpheus Entertainment channel here on Twitch, joined by Lisa, Christian, Sean, and Luke, my wonderful cast for today. They have been making their way through a slightly alternate history version of New York affected by some sort of terrible, terrible malady. They use the underground of old New York to make their way deeper into the city towards Manhattan, and have now found that they must reach the surface in this strange eye of the storm of some twisted evil nightmare. All right, guys, you are back. You've managed to make your way pretty far underground. Judging by the brief stories you got from the Mr. Winston character, you have made it far further than any of his attempts to go towards the center of the city.
When we go up, we know we're only about 50 yards from the building, which is great.
Yeah, you're pretty sure you feel like you're going to pop up in the middle of Times Square.
Well,
whatever it looks like in this version in 1904, at least.
I mean, I always wanted to visit it, so.
Is there a naked cowboy?
Only one way to find out.
Only if I put on a hat and take off my pants.
Crash in his nakedness and metapods.
It sounded like you said in menopause. I was like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah, he did actually. Yeah.
Finally, we know what's wrong with Crash. It's menopause.
It's menopause.
Yeah. And yes,
he's been designing custom menopause.
It is entirely possible all of us could not be wearing pants because we did all Skype in. We could all not be wearing pants right now, and you would never know.
I'm in a dress, so it's cool.
Aha! So she's not wearing pants.
Aha!
Point of fact: not wearing pants.
Still in the stupid gown from the hospital.
You're in a hospital gown?
We're all in hospital gowns.
Yeah, all four of you. Your avatars are still in your outfits from the insane asylum, but you're hospital-like gowns.
Yes, indeed. Yes, and my butt's cold.
But at this point, they are very, very dirty from making your way through the underground.
Yeah.
All right, it takes a little bit of labor, but you're able to work your way up to the street. They don't really have that much of a sewer system in place yet, so that you have that going for you. You don't have to crawl through any of that. They're still mostly at the stage of just, dumping it. Yeah, I wouldn't swim in the river around here.
Ew, no.
Yeah. While climbing to the surface, you are greeted by a horrible, horrible sight. Not only is it significantly darker here, even though you have the same eclipsed sun above you, but it's that horrible quiet with it. The only sound is the occasional shuffling of feet as you see a huge line of people stretched as far as you can see and out of your sight, all going up to the front of that Times Tower building and into the front door of it. And like every minute or so, they shuffle forward like a line moving forward, one person.
Are they feeding it?
Yeah, of course the building is eating them. Of course it is. That's this place, man. This place is gonna take over our brains. If you start feeling yourself getting into a New York state of mind, let me know and we will run.
What's our safe word?
Soylent Green.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Soylent Green.
Anything Heston related would be fine. If you call me a damn dirty ape, I accept that.
Interesting.
So,
we don't want to go in the front, obviously.
All right, as you make your way towards the building, the people are just standing, staring. Their eyes aren't bloodshot and drool isn't coming down their face or anything like that, but they just are staring vacantly forward, and every so often just shuffle another person forward.
It's a freaking slaughter.
Shuffle another person forward.
You want to try and do some cutsies? Stealth into line towards the front.
I mean, should we scan the building and see if there's an alternate entrance?
Yeah.
I'm in for that.
Okay.
Single scout.
Sure.
That's up to you guys.
Well, Tessa, that's probably you then. You're the flyer.
All right. I scout the building to see if there's another entrance.
All right, you take a quick lift off the ground and begin flying around to the back side of the building. You give me a notice check.
Oh, Jesus. I'm going to spend a meta point to go full pilot.
Spending a meta point to go full pilot.
No more 10s for me. I rolled a 4.
It's just the 8s are so good.
4, and I needed a 14.
That's a critical.
Wow, that is a critical success. You can tell that there's like you could go in through some windows maybe on some other floors. There seems to be a back like utility type entrance. And you also, by getting a critical success, hear and detect the swooping gargoyles before they get to you.
Oh, great. Some more gargoyles. And you said there's a couple windows?
There's lots of windows going up to other floors. If you didn't want to go in the bottom floor, you could probably smash a window and go in that way.
But we have to start higher just to go back down?
You would if you smashed in through an upper floor like that, yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, I come back and report gargoyles.
All right. In fact, all of you can see them at this point. There is a pack of a dozen gargoyles flying in pursuit of Tessa as she rounds the building, heading back in your direction.
Dang it, Tessa.
Sorry, I thought we got them all.
What happened to the stealth?
I am stealthy. Shit, I didn't roll stealth. I got stealth. But I don't
Should
know.
have used it.
And I will take initiative rolls from everyone.
All right, fine. Let's initiate some stuff. Is that's a 20, right?
2d12 and add your... Oh, that was maybe a store thing?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. 2d12 and add your initiative bonus.
18.
20.
God, how high of an initiative do you guys have?
Are you adding your initiative bonus to your roll?
Yeah, it's only 4. It's only a +4.
That's really good.
Ah, then I'm rolling terrible.
Crash and Wyatt?
Not. That's 21. 31.
31?
31. Because I
So-
rolled 21, and I've got a +6 initiative and lightning reflexes for a total of +10.
Wow,
And 17.
Crash's reaction time is rather obscene.
that's crazy.
This is, in fact, where a lot of his powers are focused. All right, Crash, you're going to be first at a 31. There are a dozen of these. They're slight variations upon each other, but they're all very similar to the beings you turned to dust previously.
Yeah, but that took a lot of juice. And I'm not made of juice. And neither are they. I'm going to split my 2 attacks into 4.
Okay, making 4 attacks.
And I'm going to basically just, jump at them and see if I can, punch through a few of them in one shot.
All right, Crash punching through some gargoyles. That's going to be fighting checks, sir.
It's a super crash punch.
Yeah, I think it is definitely a super Crash punch.
On the break, I went and got more dice because I realized I only had like 1 8 and 1 10.
That might be useful to have the dice on hand.
Then I got both the 10s, which are harder to read. That's 6. Okay, so I beat it by 12.
First one is a critical success. You still
Yeah, I
got 3 more to go.
I got rolled a bunch. Let's see. I beat it by 3.
By 3. Also a success.
Beat
2
it
more.
by 12.
Critical success. 2 criticals and 1 regular.
Yep. That's. Hold on. Beat it by 4.
All right, that's 4 attacks.
Beat it by 8.
Wow.
All right. Crash Jackson leaps through the air and kind of punch bouncing from gargoyle to gargoyle, absolutely disintegrates 2 and punches off part of the torso of 2 more of them. They kind of haphazardly fall to the ground and are still moving forward, but no longer capable of flight.
Nice, bro.
Next up is going to be John with a 20.
So you said a couple of them fell to the ground here?
Yeah, he disintegrated 2, and then 2 fell to the ground. There are still 8 flying in straight towards all of you.
Okay, so I got these guys on the ground. So I have 2 attacks. I'm going to use 1 static charge to see how they respond to electricity.
Good plan.
So I roll this.
Yep. They're at range for you, so to give me a shooting test for that one.
Cool. I'm still rolling 12s, right?
You'd be on 8s if you're all pilot rolling against John Stone's shooting.
All right. Yeah, 8. Okay, cool. Beat that one by 14.
Beat that one by 14. That is a critical success. You blast this partially wounded one with lightning. And while it doesn't seem to do a huge amount initially, it sort of starts to twitch and spasm almost like a person would if they're electrocuted, and more stone breaks off from it, and it collapses into several limb pieces. You do note that the limb pieces that are still somewhat whole, like the one arm and the one foot, still continue to move. It's just really ineffectual in staying in place.
Yeah.
Interesting. Around us, is there any debris, any big objects?
In fact, yes, there is a overturned wagon off to your left.
Times Square, buddy.
A
Yeah.
wagon made of what? Is it like a
Wood.
wooden wagon?
Yep, it's a pretty solid wood wagon. Probably weighs in the vicinity of 800 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Got axles and wheels on it and everything.
All right. So I'm gonna take that one. And how close to the other remaining standing gargoyle?
Oh, he's about 15 yards from you. Not very far.
So I'm gonna take this here wagon and I'm gonna hammer throw it at the last standing gargoyle.
All right, that's going to be used against athletics for that one. You're still on 8s.
Bam.
Ouch.
Rolling it. Athletics. Beat that by 13.
Also a critical success. It nearly explodes from the impact of you fastball throwing this thing so fast through the air. This wagon also breaks apart somewhat. Pieces of the wagon fly and hit a couple of the people that are in the crowd and knock them down, and they just kind of stand back up and take their places back in line.
Wow. Whatever's there must be good.
It's that chicken sandwich from Popeyes.
All right, after John, my gargoyles have a 19 and are next just before Tessa and Wyatt. There are only 8 remaining. 2 of each of these gargoyles are going to attack each of the pilots. With curved stone talons, we're going to make attacks on Tessa.
Merc, no, it is not.
Merc does make a good point. Is it a fastball special if you didn't throw a teammate? Not quite.
No, you got to throw a teammate.
Only one of those is a success. It is a success by 4, and I'm not sure that beats Tessa's dodge bonus. What is Tessa's dodge bonus?
+6.
Yes, you are just too quick for those curved stone talons from the one attacking you. Then we're going to make some attacks on Crash.
I feel like Tessa in the real world just like walks around everywhere in basically a Black Widow outfit. You know, like it's just like black cat suit with utility belts all over the place all the time.
And I never talk. I just throw shit.
Wear sunglasses, ride a motorcycle.
She is kind of a badass.
Yeah.
We have 2 successes by 5, but I know that success by 5 does not hit Crash's dodge bonus. So again, these things try and tear you to pieces, but you are too swift. We're going to head over to 2 attacking Wyatt next. I've got 1 success by 1 and 1 success by 2 on you, Wyatt. What is your dodge bonus, sir?
+4.
Again, you are all just too fast for
These gargoyles need no better kung fu.
Well, they're just a little slow, you know. Maybe their reflexes are just a little, you know, their moves are a bit rocky. We're going to John Stone next. Oh, I got a success by 10 on John Stone and a success by 2. John Stone, I believe, has a 0 dodge bonus.
Uh-oh.
That is correct.
However, John Stone has an inherent 40-point armor rating, and these are 40-point blows. So while they impact John, they don't seem to do any
They
damage.
barely scratch his hospital gown.
Yeah, it tears up the gown a little, but it's I think they were hitting the street with their hands. Nothing affected from their strikes.
Ugh, that was
And
annoying.
then 19 was over, so 18 is next with Tessa.
So, is a street lamp considered a small object?
The light inside of it could be.
No, oh. No. I don't have any Wait, if I'm Tessa, but I'm stuck in this Sarah Lockwood body, all I have is sewing shit, right?
And your bare hands.
I do have unarmed attack. I'm gonna walk up to 2 of the gargoyles and smack their heads together.
Yeah, you
All
did.
right.
John Jackson.
Give me a fighting check, Tessa.
A what check?
Fighting is what you will use for that.
Like,
Oh,
Apparently
Hang on,
neither
guys.
gargoyles nor grotesques are good at combat. In fact, they're pretty shit at it. Which isn't a nice thing to say, but maybe these #metapoints will make up for it.
yay!
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Rock humor. You
So
nerd.
his guts together. All right, let's roll for this. I beat it by 6.
beat it by 6. You grab hold of 2 of these and you hit them together hard, and their faces crack and break a little away. So one of them now has half of a jaw and the other one only has half of a head. They're still fighting, but they're very deformed.
Take that. You will never be beautiful.
Does Tessa only have 1 attack?
That's mean.
You might check Tessa's sheet. I think she might have more than 1 attack. It should say under her towards the top of the Tessa sheet.
Under 3. She's 3.
So
Yeah.
you still have 2 more attacks to make.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Tessa is a super badass.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought so.
I'm gonna use athletics to run up the side of the building, flip, and do a death from above on top of the one with the fucked up jaw.
Nice.
My
Get
sister.
your athletics followed by fighting, please.
Okay. Athletics. Athletics. Can I use my roll?
Yes, you can use your 7-point bonus and change that by 7.
Okay, then so I subtract 7 from this.
Yep.
Well, what did you roll first?
I rolled a 16 and I needed a 14.
Then yeah, you beat
Yeah.
it by 5.
All right, you beat that by 5. You run, and Tessa, I swear to all of you, gets like 18 feet up on a vertical run on this building before leaping off of it and flipping, and then give me the fighting check for the way down for the impact.
It's so fun. I beat it by 7.
And then lands solidly, and the entire head of this thing just breaks off into little pieces. So only the neck is still exposed, and the arms are still swinging. But even though it doesn't have any physical eyes, it seemed to depend on that head to direct the attacks. So the swings are just wild in every direction.
Does she also nail the superhero landing?
Absolutely, it is a flawless superhero landing.
Wow.
Yes. Shit. All right, I got 1 more action.
You still have 1 more attack, Tessa.
How many are left? Well, there's the 2 I smacked together. That one's still standing. The other one?
Yeah, one is still like broken head but still standing, and the other one is headless and wildly swinging.
Wait, you said one's headless?
Yeah, it's still swinging, but it seems to just be swinging in any direction that anything makes noise in.
I'm gonna teleport the light from the street lamp and stick it where his head should be and turn it on. I'll just turn him into a walking street lamp.
Okay.
Lovely. All right, you teleport a small object, which is in this case the light, which it's an oil light. It's not an electrical light here, though some of the city lights have converted to electricity. The great majority are still oil lights. The oil overflows as it's no longer connected to its harness and starts pouring down the body of this statue and sets it in a blaze. And even though it is a stone statue, it starts reacting much as like a human does when set on fire. And
Yeah.
scrambling around, swinging at the air, trying to roll. It's embarrassing.
Oh my god. So good. Okay.
And then we will go to Wyatt next.
I am just
I think
going to go
that one
after
has an idea.
it's being very clever.
You get it?
Yeah, I had an idea because it went over. And, yeah.
Somebody else noted that made it lightheaded.
I did make
But
it
I'm
lightheaded.
nice.
Nice chat.
So the two that are attacking me,
Yes.
I am going to, since I have judgment and get bonuses attacking them since they've missed me,
Absolutely.
I am going to split my attack and try to execute a throat punch on each of them.
All right. Give me fighting checks. Be sure to offset your multi-action penalty, your split action penalty with your judgment bonus.
And so that would be a -2 penalty on both of them?
Yep.
Perfect. So the first one I beat by 5.
That is good enough.
And the second I beat by 1.
Beat by 1. It does have a dodge bonus of 2. So that second one will be just a little shy. You do have a bonus you could burn from Patreon if you want.
Let's go ahead and do that.
All right.
I'm tired.
Wyatt gives these twin throat punches, and despite not having a larynx or any anatomy that should be susceptible to the throat punch, both gargoyles grip their throats immediately after being struck and tumble to the ground, holding non-existent throats.
Oh yeah, they're possessed.
Yeah.
And that puts us back to the top with Crash Jackson at a 31. You're muted, sir.
You mutant.
Mutant.
How many of these things are there left?
There are still 4 and 1 disfigured one.
But they're reacting like they're hurt. When
They
get
seem to
hurt?
be. I mean, you didn't get much of a chance in the initial ones that you hit because you disintegrated them with your punches.
Right. Just going over a few things in my brain. That's okay. 4, you said. Well, I got enough. I got 4 attacks. Let's do this. I'll take some minuses. Are there any meta points?
Fisticuffs?
There are 2 meta points and 3 moments of clarity in the story.
1 meta point, please.
1 meta point used. Crash is now full pilot, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Full pilot.
Wants to go tiny dicer.
Pull me closer, tiny
That's the one. Thank
dicer.
That's what I was thinking too.
I mean, for 10 years, I thought it was Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza. So,
Really?
oh yeah.
No.
When I was a little kid, that's what I thought it was.
Hey, yo. Yo, wait.
Hey, Angela.
Samantha. Jonathan. Mona.
Oh, Mona.
Angela.
Mona had loose morals.
She did.
Yeah, I liked her too. Yeah. The first one I beat by 12. Second one I beat by 13.
Jeez.
Third one I beat by 3.
And the fourth?
Fourth one I beat by 10.
All right. 2 critical successes and 2 regular successes accounting for dodge bonuses. And where there were 4 are now 4 piles of powder exploded from the punches of Crash Jackson, leaving but 1 deformed gargoyle remaining when we hop to John Stone.
You said 1?
Yep, and it is deformed. Tessa has already beat the crap out of it some.
Huh. Now, the light stand,
Yes.
is it still there?
Oh yeah, the pole itself is still there. Yeah.
Ah. Swing, bada, swing.
Yes.
Give me an athletics check followed by a fighting check to rip the light post out of the ground and swing it like an oversized bat, as we have seen in many comic book stories, and hit this gargoyle.
Indeed. Athletics beat by 10.
That is, you actually able to one hand rip this light pole out of the ground,
And fighting beat by 5.
and then you swing it, and like a baseball bat, you hit this gargoyle. And the initial impact only kind of cracks the body, but then sends it up and over the crowd, across Times Square, and through the front of a building.
And then I open my my hospital gown to reveal number 42 on my chest.
Nice touch.
Nice.
Great Bambino.
No, he was number 3.
I'm just saying you did a great Bambino move.
Oh, come on. You're killing me, Smalls.
And the gargoyles are no more.
Always and forever, bro.
Forever.
All right. So no more gargoyles. Now let's find out what's up in that there building there.
Okay.
We're all covered in dust from
Yep.
gargoyles.
There's
You in
no ground
particular,
level
Crash. Yeah, you in particular, Crash. You're absolutely covered in dust from exploding gargoyles. Which
Like I just jumped in a bag of flour.
Yeah,
We all look terrible, okay?
Yeah.
that's
Gown
We're
totally ruined.
mostly naked people who are very, very dirty, have not seen mirrors or combs in
Or
months.
showers.
Yeah.
We're real gross.
yeah.
And I am an anatomically correct cyborg, so it's kind of embarrassing, actually.
Oh, man.
All right. I guess we hop in through like a second-story window.
That's our option. We'll have to make it down a floor, but
Yeah, Tessa was able to scout. There was a back utility entrance. There is the front entrance, or going up through an upper floor through a window.
I'd rather do back utility entrance.
agreed.
Yep.
Let's do it.
I am done flying for the day.
Do we see a fire hydrant anywhere?
Unfortunately, they're not a
Yep.
thing yet.
Damn it! No, I just want to wash off a little bit.
Oh.
Oh,
However, there is a
I can do that.
there is a fountain here in Times Square.
Oh,
It won't be in a couple of decades, but it is currently here.
should we rinse off a little bit? I mean, I
We-
can't even
we-
see.
Can we do some Friends poses and dance in it?
I've been working on a rinse thing. Can I try?
Yeah. Oh, you can manipulate the water to come like rinse us off?
Oh, yeah, I could do that too. But I was just going to forcefully remove the dust and dirt particles from your body.
Oh, sure.
I want you to tell me exactly what you're doing with that power use, word for word, Crash.
That is never a good
Can you
sign.
blast ink off too? Come on, man.
Well, no, I mean I've been practicing on this
Okay.
at home on myself.
Because the last time you did something like this, there was an incident.
Yeah, I'm. The trick is, to keep down the speed.
Okay.
But you're just I'm making their skin frictionless, and then a little gust of kinetic energy to move the particles off, like a wind blast, basically.
Just don't blow our
Alright.
skin off. It's okay.
Go ahead,
Except-
give me the power
You got
use.
sandblast
Except
system?
the bottoms of their feet are still good to go. I just want you to understand that. I'm not blowing these people across the universe
Uh-huh.
and completely defrictioning them. That's not happening.
Okay.
Fool me twice, shame on you still.
But defrictionalizing the entirety of their exterior skin minus the bottoms of their feet.
Right.
And
Okay.
let us keep
Whoa, for how long? This is temporary, right? This is for
Like half a second, and then basically, the breeze should blow everything off.
Can I just stay dirty? I'm fine with being dirty. I've
Yes,
been
you
dirty
can.
before.
Or you
Alright.
can go use the fountain. I just want to see if this works.
Yeah,
So
I
who are
opt
you
out.
using that on?
You his sister.
Just Tessa?
Because she'll
Probably,
forget.
probably
God.
just me to start with, since I
Just
haven't
you
had
to start with. Okay, give me a power use to start with on yourself.
I beat it by 7.
And you do it flawlessly. The only problem you come across is by making yourself entirely frictionless on your skin, your clothing was also removed by the blast of kinetic energy.
Totally makes sense. I expected that to happen.
I thought we were naked.
So I'll retrieve. Well, it is what it is. I'll retrieve and
Still
Cover
working
my-
bugs out.
cover my bits.
But he is absolutely clean beside that. The brief moment of nakedness.
So the trick is, you want to get your clothes off beforehand, otherwise it won't. Right.
Are
And
we?
I tie my hospital gown basically around my waist. Because I think that's where we're living now.
Yeah, that's a asylum chic.
I mean, it's basically just a rag at this point anyway. With as many
Right.
times as I've been clawed and bit and
Yeah.
ripped at. Yeah.
That is a fact. And I'm guessing
I'm
the
not
rest
wearing a hospital-issued loincloth.
either asking for the crash treatment or going for the fountain or just ignoring it. What do we go with?
For me.
That's
Fountain.
weird how it smells better.
You smell better?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he smells a lot better.
Fine, but do it turned around.
Even my hair's clean.
All right, give me a power use. Tessa is asking for it, but once you do it, turned around.
If you really want me to do this with my eyes closed?
No. Just as soon as you do it, turn around.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course.
Fine.
That's
I mean, I
gross.
know it's not my body, but still, it's weird.
Still, you're still my sister, and that is totally
Still
weird.
weird.
Yes.
Give me another power
It's
use.
about the time that Mom would remind us that we used to bathe together when we were children.
I know. She's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, critical. The clothes
Oh,
even
yeah.
stay on.
You even managed to compensate for the clothes on that one with the critical success. And well, they like kind of go sideways and twist around, and you have to readjust them. You are clean, and yes, you smell better. Even your hair is clean.
Ugh. Oh my God.
Cleaner than you were when you were even in the asylum.
Wow. I've missed you.
Meanwhile, Wyatt is bathing in the fountain.
I wish I had a camera right now.
And I'm guessing John is just ignoring the condition.
I'm a cyborg, man. I'm naturally clean, but I can also use my static charge on myself to repel the negative electric charge of the particles on me
There's
and actually force them off me.
There is the small problem of your meat body.
I can still, but I'm still
Right, but he's
use
still
electricity to
on
repel
Earth Prime, and
particles.
you're in this Joker's body.
I'm still gonna repel them particles.
You go ahead and
A low level, a negative
Yep.
charge will repel the negatively charged particles and cause it to fly off my body.
I like it. You're attempting to use your advanced technology for a good
Static,
purpose.
yeah.
Go ahead and give me an advanced technology roll.
Oh, I that's all theory. I'm not gonna do it. I don't care.
Oh, see, in theory, he could do it. He's choosing not to.
I don't care.
Okay.
I want to blend in with all the zombies and smell kind of a little gamey.
Yeah, I was fine with that too, but then we were talking about being dirty, and I thought I could get rid of it.
Well, that's just because we have a girl with us. Girls always worry about that kind of stuff. I don't care.
Tessa's not a girl. That's gross.
Technically, I'm pretty much like a dude.
A dude girl? Okay,
Yeah.
we'll go with that.
Thank you.
Can we go and like save the day or something?
You
Let's
are
hope
back
so.
around by the. You make your way after Wyatt bathes around the back of the building to the utility entrance. It's a set of closed, pretty stout doors, but that's never stopped any of you in the past.
Anybody got a bobby pin?
Oh, I've got a.
I was kidding. No,
No, I've got like seamstress tools. I can.
I don't think we need them.
Oh,
I mean,
pick it.
does it open?
Give me an athletics test. It resists your grip a little bit, and
Did you say it was locked or just barred?
Is it
just
locked?
locked. Yeah, it's just locked.
Oh,
It's just locked.
Yeah.
I can lock pick
Do
it.
you want me to roll? Okay.
Can you just like break the lock off?
Yeah, no, without trying. Even.
Punch through it?
Yeah, he snaps the lock in half, pulling on it. The door even bends a little bit on the hinges in the process.
Show off.
Just gonna move that door over there. Okay.
It's a back utility entrance, leads into a hallway. There's a couple of split off doorways from it. Ahead, you can see like a couple of doors have been knocked down so that you can see out into the lobby. And you can see the people filed through the lobby from like a side angle. Like the line goes inside of the building.
All right. Stealth mode.
All right. Anybody who is trying to be stealth, please make stealth checks.
Covert ops.
Yeah.
Covert ops would cover that for you, Wyatt.
Yeah, okay.
Beat it by 6.
Beat it by 6.
Beat it by
Beat
3.
by 12.
Beat it by 12. Wow.
Archangel Michael doesn't seem to have any stealth, but
No, he does not.
You're crashed though right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's fully crash.
there it is.
And what did you beat yours there by, John?
3.
3. Okay.
That is, I actually beat it by 2.
Beat it by 2. So the whole group of you, quiet, creeps in through the back, past some of these little side rooms and closets, and you get out front towards the lobby, and now you have a much better view of the lobby. All these people have filed in, and there's a pretty set of major stairs here, and there one going to the lower floors, and then stairs going to the upper floors. And you can see the people have filled up the stairs heading into the upper floors and then out of sight as though the line continues upstairs.
Perfect, because we want to go down.
Yep.
Everyone give me notice checks as well.
Beat it by 3.
5.
11.
12.
Excellent. 1 critical success, 2 critical successes, and 2 more. You quite quickly pick up, there's like this slick, oily, quite greasy type black fluid coming from the downstairs and then up to the upstairs. Like a trail that got left by something.
Wait, it's flowing up?
No, like it's a trail that got left behind. It was on the downstairs and going to the upstairs, but because 2 people got critical successes, they can tell it originated downstairs and then headed up.
Got it.
So the same material that creature was that we tried to take out?
Possibly.
Explain that to me one more time.
Like a black, oily, greasy fluid is left, like a trail, like something left it behind and came from downstairs to upstairs at some point.
So what we're looking for is upstairs.
Possibly. You were told that the traveling stone is
The
downstairs.
traveling stone is downstairs, but
Yeah, it originated from downstairs. So something came through the stone and went upstairs.
so let's
The
go
stone is
see.
downstairs.
Let's go see the stone first, real quick.
All right. You travel down the steps ever so stealthy. There's nobody going downstairs. They're all the people in the line are headed upstairs. And you get into a basement area where there's a boiler, a utility area. There's pipes running everywhere. Some of the construction is really recent. Like this building was finished a very, very short time ago.
Yeah, it's
before
new.
all these horrible things happened. It's very new. And at the far end, there's a massive vault-like door, like the kind you'd see in a bank, but it's hanging open. And inside is a natural stone cavern. It's a pretty large cavern. In this cavern, there's a circular stone in the middle of it. And on this circular stone, there is a dead body. And then that slick, oily black substance goes from one side, like where the opposite side of where the dead body is, out the vault door and then up the stairs.
So
There's
like Like the dead body and the stuff both started on opposite sides of the stone?
Yes, but the dead body doesn't look like it's moved.
Right.
We went downstairs or upstairs?
Downstairs.
Downstairs. Okay.
As
Okay.
a traveling stone. And also at this point, all of you, because you're meta pilots, even though you're in avatars, you can feel like the hum of the metaversal energy from the stone. This is definitely a conduit, a way for pilots to access the metaverse.
Okay, everybody, don't touch that.
Should we do a knowledge roll for the stone?
I've got the skill.
Yeah, I only have a 9. So yeah,
I've got metaverse knowledge myself.
I do too.
And I rolled a 3.
It is 100% like a place of power is back on your metaverse. This is probably how Winston and his friends traveled. This is
old-timey metapods like at Stonehenge and at
Gotcha.
at the island, that place in Africa, that place in Norway, that place in the Southwest.
The Bermuda Triangle.
There is a place in the Bermuda Triangle. How did you know that?
I just got knowledge. Okay.
And looking at it, it looks like it's probably built, since somebody got a really good roll on that one, where 4 pilots could use this thing at the same time. It's like set up with 4 individual spots. One of them is occupied by a dead body. One of them has that greasy black stain on it.
The dead body, is it a woman or a man?
It's a man.
Wasn't he with a man?
He was with
left?
2 people. He was with Fordsworth and Diane was his story. He said Fordsworth was
Injured terribly.
injured terribly. Yep. And
Let's take a look at the body. Is it injured terribly?
give me notice checks. Let's see what you can figure out from his body. Or an investigation would work if you have those skills.
Oh, I do.
Beat it by 5.
By 5.
Beat it by 8.
He bears no obvious physical wounds to himself.
14.
You can tell right away, Crash, that this he died of shock from his avatar dying in another metaverse.
So his avatar didn't die here.
Yeah, that could be the dude.
No.
Because the dude's avatar died in the other world, but his pilot would have come through and died.
Went upstairs.
What?
She
And
went
in fact,
upstairs.
your investigation is high enough. You can tell the black stain is definitely person-sized. That's on the other half of the traveling stone.
Are there any footprints in it at all?
Yeah, right at the very base of that stone, just one set of footprints.
Is that
Well,
Diane?
I don't know if it was Diane, but I could probably tell if it was a woman or a man, how tall they were.
About 5'7", probably female.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, whatever it was got her and is using her and is upstairs.
Is there anything else in this room that we need to notice?
There's a couple of simple desks. There's a couple of journals like on the wall next to them and other books.
Journals.
Some really basic supplies. Yeah.
Wait, so it inhabits bodies, but it also showed itself outside of a body and wreaked havoc with us without a host. Correct?
It may have spread once it got here.
Okay. So you think about ways to kill a virus using antivirals or make the environment hostile to the virus.
That's why I mentioned that particular scorched earth scenario when we left the asylum.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's kids here, and they don't have anybody right now.
Yep.
So let's go upstairs and make this thing go home.
Well, I would like to take a quick stick in of those journals, just because journals are...
Yeah, scan them in, man.
All right, they're fairly simple, but they seem to be the travel logs of a Winston and a Fordsworth and a Diane. All just travel logs of going to different metaverses and visiting the people and trying to make contact. And they're all very diplomatically written, like they were trying to learn.
What are the final entries of each
These
one?
guys are explorers.
Yeah, they're talking about returning to the Palace of the Feathered King is the last entry. Like, we're going to return to the Palace of the Feathered King, and then there's no entry after that.
Still, file it away. That could be where we need to go next.
I'll just take them with us.
Can't you just
All right.
look at them and memorize them?
Oh yeah, I can like scan them. I can turn
Yeah.
the PDFs in my head.
All right.
That's super cool.
The advantages of having a cyborg. All right. I'm guessing you're heading back upstairs then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You go back up the steps, and then again in that lobby, you see the whole line. It's moved a few people going upstairs, and kind of standing in the stairwell underneath as you're coming up. You can see up several of the flights of stairs as they twist around and around and around. And there are people all the way up as far as you can see, filling the stairwell, every so often shuffling up in the line. And as you reach the lobby floor, you hear the elevator bell ding, and the doors to the elevator next to the stairs slide open.
That was good
Maybe
timing.
the thing at the asylum was a remora to a much larger baddie. Or maybe it was a progeny. Either way, if there is more than one thing, maybe a hashtag crash buff and a hashtag Tessa buff will help hitting many things at once.
Yes, it would.
Nice.
Why? Thank you.
Thank
so
you,
much.
Chad.
Always
Everyone
good to have.
currently has a buff in the store, guys. I'm just going to point that out.
Yay!
Everyone has a buff in the store. There's still a meta point, still 3 moments of clarity.
So if we
There's
hold
still
on to those till the right moment, we could just put our fists in and do a Sentai transformation.
And there is a meta meltdown,
Oh God.
which the only reason I haven't spent on you is you're all in full pilot and it would do nothing.
Right.
I mean, it would be cool, I guess.
Yeah, it would be just wasteful.
It would be very cool during a fight.
Oh, I expect there would be a fight here coming soon. That's
Because
just a hunch.
just because it changes positions and opponents.
Yep.
As Sarah's, the part of me that Sarah is gonna scan for her dirty dealing husband in the group of people.
She doesn't see her dirty dealing husband, but there are numerous people she either has seen before, and even a
Okay.
couple she might know the name of.
Okay.
Just because there's so many people in that line, she's recognized a few of them. They are definitely New York citizens.
Okay.
Okay, I would like everyone to note that there is literally no one coming back down the stairs.
Yeah, that struck me as well.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So, I'm just saying, there may be some sort of weird hentai death machine up there, and we don't know about it.
Or,
That was in a minute.
or it's a rave.
That nobody gets to leave.
Who would want to? It's a cool party.
A rave at a roach motel.
In 1904.
Did they have glow sticks back then?
No,
Trance music.
no, they just had fire.
They had opium.
Fire and racism.
Indeed.
Laudanum. They had laudanum.
They did. Bottles and bottles of it.
Yeah.
And as I said, as you reach the lobby floor, the elevator dings and the doors open.
Is there an elevator attendant?
Not currently. The doors just stand open.
Someone sent it for us?
What ass building is this? Okay.
Wait, did
Oh,
we?
at least
somebody-
the elevator. The stairs are packed, right?
The
Yeah.
stairs are packed.
Could I feasibly get up the stairs without accidentally murdering anybody?
It would take effort, but you think you probably could do it. It would just take a while.
How long is a while?
We-
Hours?
20 or 30 minutes, maybe. Maybe a little bit longer.
And I wouldn't hurt anybody during that time.
That's assuming that you're being extra careful and not,
We could all just
Anybody
go.
move
Pardon
forward.
me. Excuse me. Pardon me. Sorry,
The
pardon.
elevator just showed up. They know we're here.
You want to get in the elevator that whoever sent?
Yeah.
for?
Okay, let's say that the elevator is a trap. What do? Do I grab the ceiling and then just fly up that way with the elevator anyway? I don't imagine the elevator weighs more than 20 tons.
Wait.
And I can lift that real easy on a good day.
Fine. Let's elevator it.
All right. You step into the elevator. It's too primitive in this time period to be buttons. It actually has a lever that you adjust to the floor that you want to go to.
Cool.
So it's a giant dumbwaiter.
I always wanted
Penthouse,
to go on one
yes.
of these.
All right. You crank it to the top floor, and you can hear the chains clanking and grinding as it rises up. Again, it's a very primitive elevator, so it doesn't go particularly fast, but you can kind of feel it shaking and moving up and moving up and moving up. Yeah, pre-elevator music, but John
There's
Stone
actually
first made
a
sense.
woman on the elevator singing.
Yes.
But because it's Muzak, she's just humming the tune at you.
I like it. Minutes pass as it travels higher and higher, almost too long, like taller than this building is.
Oh,
And then-
good. A TARDIS. We're in a TARDIS.
And then finally it grinds to a stop, and the doors open into a twisted and a hellish landscape. Men and women are arrayed on horrible-looking torture devices around the room, with slick, oily beings laughing maniacally while administering the torture to them. Piles of dead, obvious victims to prior torture clutter along a long banquet table where yet more of these entities are feasting on their flesh and gnawing on their bones. At the head of the table sits an impossibly tall, slender man with pale skin and long, stringy hair. His eye sockets are sunken, and he has a long, hooked nose above his entirely too large of a mouth. He's dressed in rather rumpled finery, and in front of him, strung up like a suckling pig, is a child.
Oh, I'm fucking pissed now.
Yeah.
Welcome, travelers. Welcome to my feast. I have been waiting. One of these smaller oil slick type beings reaches out a hand to try and grab the child, and he slaps it away. Ah, the enthusiasm of youth. They just don't know how to savor the moment. It takes eons to grow patient.
Are you going to really monologue at us? Why did you let us up the elevator? What do you want?
What do I want? What does
Yeah.
anything want, child? Perhaps you mean like something specific now, in this moment.
Yes, from us, right now.
The answer to that is quite simple. In that case, I want you, Clarence, my boy. The rest of you are just fodder.
Did he just call me fodder?
He did. He did.
Did he call you Clarence?
Oh my god, oh my god. I'm rolling
He
up my
called me
sleeves,
fodder.
even though there are none.
What? John? What?
Did he just call you Clarence?
Yeah.
That's more offensive.
Right? That's what I'm saying. So
How
you
do you
want
know
me?
you're fodder?
What you want to eat me like a kid?
Oh, not at all, Clarence, my boy. Not at all.
Suck out all my powers? Be like a Highlander demon? What's your deal, guy? Come on. Because this is ridiculous, right here. This room, these people. This is the stupidest
Everything
thing.
has to eat.
No, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. So, what do you want from me?
Well, you're my way to spread.
Oh, you're gonna ride me back to another metaverse?
Quite a few, actually.
You know why that's not gonna happen? Because I'm gonna vaporize this whole place, including myself.
Whoa, 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 whoa. We're here too. Hold on there.
Oh, no, he could get you. Sorry.
How many bad guys are here?
That's the only way this is gonna go. You made the mistake, little man, of bringing a nuclear bomb up to the top floor where you guys are eating. After making me witness everything that you've done here, I'm in a room, and the only people in here that I care about are 4 really sick mental patients.
Technically, I'm 5 mental patients, but
Right, I'm sorry, John. I forgot
Oh.
all about you guys. So you're gonna do giggle voice at me more, monster?
Just going to blow up and run away, huh, Clarence?
No, I'm gonna blow. Well, I mean, I guess technically, yeah, but where's that gonna leave you?
Oh, I'll be fine. I'll just have to wait for the next one of your kind to come through and use them instead.
No, I will lock this place down so fast. How do you think people get here? There won't be travelers in this place ever again. There will be no way in and no way out. We will lock this down. It's the flip of a switch, you stupid creature.
Just a delay.
No. Starving slowly for a very long time. A
Now,
delay it might be, but it'll be an uncomfortable one.
How many bad guys are in here?
Hundreds of these little things.
Little things.
And then the one talking to you, the old man with the stringy hair, but the little oil slick-like creatures. They're about 1.5 feet tall. There are hundreds of them.
Can I teleport
So-
the small child to my side, please?
Absolutely, you can.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
While Crash talking to this guy, I'm going to use my judge opponent ability to see what I can learn about this thing.
Good man.
Him or the others?
Him.
Him. All right. Give me notice or investigation. Let's see what you can learn about him.
Beat it by 6.
That's pretty decent. You don't think that he's susceptible to physical harm?
That's it? That's all I learned about him?
Yeah, that's about all you can really tell. And that what you're looking at isn't him at all. It's some sort of projection. It's what he's allowing you to see.
So Crash, this isn't even the
Yeah.
guy. This is
That sucks. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Wait. Does he have a physical? He doesn't have a physical body. How is he grabbing things?
Oh, little
He's
dreamer.
fucking laughing again. Jesus Christ. You know what? When you're done, we'll let you finish talking.
Is this thing the same thing that we saw when we first got here?
No.
Not at all. It's the thing you saw when you first got here is more like these little ones that are running the torture equipment.
In terms of the little ones, I want to take a look at them and see, like, if they actually are here and have real bodies or not.
I'll take a notice or investigation from yourself, Mr. Wyatt Maxwell.
Notice will beat it by 9.
They're here in a limited capacity. They have what you might call a quasi-physical body. They're not so much physical, but they are definitely bound to this metaverse, like that they exist here and could be destroyed here.
Okay.
All right. I sit down across from him. So you're going to use me to go to all the metaverses and infect everybody. Like, are you really supposed to be the big bad this season? What? We don't even know your name.
I'm older than names, Clarence.
Oh my God, no, you can't call me Clarence and then say you're older than names. Nobody's gonna buy that. Okay. I've been doing this a couple of years now, and I'm just gonna go on record as saying you are the dumbest villain. You are the worst one we have ever faced, and not in that you are the most terrifying, because clearly, you're very terrifying. But
So James,
this is stupid.
I would like to use my senses to see if there is a man behind the curtain.
Absolutely.
speak.
You go ahead and give me either an investigation or notice check to see what else you can pick up.
Beat it by 8.
There is 100% a human body in this room somewhere with extremely faint life signs. But you don't physically see it, but you know it is in this room. But this room is also very disproportionate. It should be much smaller here at the top of the building than what you're seeing. You have the strongest sense that everything you're seeing, your perceptions are being altered.
Okay, so I have mind shield and I have heightened senses. So what can I actually detect that is real?
You believe that you are actually in the top floor of the Times Tower, and that it's probably just like a corporate office-esque building that should have a big table for rich folks to meet and talk while they stare with their beautiful view out of the out in the city, and have a few offices up here. But that's not what it looks like at all.
And the person, the humanoid thing, is in
There is
here.
definitely a human with faint life signs somewhere in this room. The very faint, and the life signs are slowly fading.
Okay, this is all a distraction. We got to find out who that person is and save them.
I have stealth. You want me to stealth
Lock
check
him
the
down.
room?
So you're older than names.
If you seek to call me something, perhaps entropy, fear,
Oh, you're an
hunger.
idea. Oh, okay. Like
So
suffering.
As
Whatever.
Crash keeps doing this, can she sneak and stealth her way throughout the place and look around?
Give me a stealth check.
Okay.
And Crash can just keep distracting him and talking to him.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Yep.
Just make sure I've got my 8s. Okay. Oh, I beat it by 10.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you slip away from the group. You are pretty sure nothing has noticed you as you slide around the table. Crash continuing the conversation.
Because all things must decay. Oh, God. You don't even have a good angle.
You would not understand.
I know. It's probably beyond my puny mortal understanding or whatever.
You don't even know what you are.
Oh, God, we're going to do this? Now you're going to somehow do the season 6 tie-in to my past that nobody knew until just now? No, I'm not buying it there, Boney. It just isn't happening.
Ah.
I refuse to acknowledge you even as a threat at this point.
I tire of this little dreamer. Supper time, children.
Me too.
And
Yeah.
with that, the small creatures cease their work on the torture implements and all turn their vicious heads towards you, Wyatt and John. Initiative, everyone.
You gonna kill the avatars then?
Wait a minute. What am I finding? Anything?
Oh, we'll get to you. You're also in the combat round, my dear, except for nothing is targeting you because you are stealthed.
Oh, okay.
You
So-
slipped away just as the fight was breaking out, so we will definitely be including that in the round. But nothing is going to be attacking you, my dear.
25.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, do initiative. That's right.
Yes.
2 12s was it or a 20? I forget.
2 12s and then add your initiative modifier.
Got it. Man, really? Oh wait. I'm gonna take that 5 that I was given in the beginning to my roll and add it,
All right, you do it.
and that'll give me a 13.
Whoa.
That was
I feel your pain.
Wyatt and Crash,
26.
26.
22.
22. Lots of folks moving fast on this initiative. The 26 for Crash will go first. You get to act first right as he physically rings a dinner bell, telling them that it's supper time.
Ridiculous.
I love how just offended you are, not by the horror of the scene, but the banality of it.
Yeah.
I left the kid with you, by the way. Well, I went and stealthed. The kid that I teleported off the
That's
spit.
fine. Yeah, keep him close.
So what are we doing with our 26, Crash?
I'm waiting until my the rest of my party has
All
done
right.
their thing.
Crash at a hold action. Tessa's at 25. You've made it halfway around the table before he rang this dinner bell thing. And a bunch of the things scamper past you, and just some of them come within inches, but you are so stealthy that moving between these torture implements, it doesn't notice you at all. And you're making your way towards the back of this strange, hellish landscape. And behind the table is this really intricate, like, black goo-like web. All these different tendrils of it stretch in different directions and across the ground and the floor. And they all seem to be heading further and further away from you.
Did John share the information about the body somewhere in here?
I don't know. John, did you share that information?
Well, yeah, I yelled it out to Crash, but he was
Okay.
still talking. So if he
I'm
was
looking for the
earshot,
body. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use investigation to try to find this body.
All right, you're going to follow the trail. Give me an investigation for your turn for this round.
5 and I needed a 14. I beat it by 9.
You did by 9, almost a critical success. You begin following this like trail of twisted, grotesque tendrils further and further back into this strange realm. And you can like feel reality trying to warp around you, but you just keep this trail that you were following fixed in your mind. At times it feels like you're even walking on the walls and then on the ceiling. And then it's less being in this strange landscape you see and more like a simple executive's office from 1904. And across the room is a woman, and tendrils of this black horribleness are coming out of her mouth, and that is what is the source of all of these ones that you followed. And we are then going to go to the next in the initiative count, which is going to be a 23. 23 will be the speaker at the table, who bounds across it straight towards Crash Jackson. In 2 quick strides, he covers the table, and his hands kind of go almost above Crash's body when he grabs him. And you can feel a piercing sensation in yourself, not your avatar, Crash, as you are physically grabbed for 30 damage, please. And you can feel like you're being pulled or torn
So
out.
he definitely beat my dodge?
I beat my success rate by 13, so I know that I got my lowest roll of the night with a 1 and a 2 on my 12-sided dice, so that's a 3 for my attack. And he physically tears into the only thing you can call it is your soul, and feels like he's pulling you out of your avatar physically.
Yeah, cool.
It is horribly painful. If
But
you
he
are,
doesn't have a physical body, so I can't physically hurt him. Is that correct?
he seems to be grabbing you in some fashion. It's
Neat.
just not grabbing your avatar. It's grabbing you.
Ooh.
And we have Wyatt next at a 22.
Okay, so just looking over the scene here, have all of the little oil creatures abandoned the folks that they were torturing?
Yes, they have turned their hungry gazes upon yourself and John Stone.
Okay, cool. I would like to find the largest grouping of them, and I'm going to try and sorcery up some fire just to see if these things will catch light.
All right, give me a sorcery check, please.
Ooh.
Beat it by 6.
Beat it by 6. How much fire are you bringing about?
A healthy dose, I think. And again, I really want to try and keep this contained as much as I can within one group of them.
Okay.
Trying to catch the entirety of the
right,
building area on fire.
Not going for the whole building, but going for a decent section. You bring about magic fire that you conjure, and several of these things immediately burst into a horrible, horrible flame. The smell is horrible, the smoke is worse, and the screams are ear-piercing as they roll around in these terrible flames that spread from them. As they contact each other, it's like they're almost made of something flammable, and the fire just spreads rapidly around the room into several of them until more than a couple dozen are on fire.
Well, that worked.
It was, in fact, dramatically affected. 18 will be the remaining one of these things not on fire. At any time you want to jump in, Crash, just say so. Your action is still held.
Okay.
Several of them leap across the room, going for both Wyatt and John. They are, as group efforts, going to attempt to grapple you and drag you to the ground where they can start eating you.
No.
A mob leaps upon you, Wyatt, and they start tearing into your flesh, and the pain is immense. I'm going to have 4 successes by more than 6 on that one. So we're going to do a total of 40 damage done to you, as each is a 10 damage hit.
In which case, no damage is done.
All right, but you are still grappled as they pull you to the ground.
Lisa, you trying to get pretty for the fight? What was that?
It was chapstick.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was actual lipstick.
Now it's chapstick. First piece.
In your case, John, they also leap into you, and more than a dozen pile on top of you. And while their claws don't seem to be able to inflict any damage to your toughened person, they are able to drag you to the floor just with sheer numbers and weight on top of you, holding you down on the ground. Now we will go to John unless Crash is going to act. John, you are been pulled to the ground.
Very good. I'm gonna see how they like electricity. So I'm just going to electrify my entire body.
Lighting yourself up with the shock.
Indeed, and see how they like that.
All right, you'll be doing, and in this case, it will be either fighting or shooting. And because you're going against yourself and then having the charge spread out, you're going against your dodge bonus of 0.
Okay, say it again.
So you just have to get a success.
Okay.
There is no dodge bonus because you're targeting yourself with this attack and then using the charge to go from there.
Beat it by 6.
Beat it by 6. You spend an electrical charge, and more than 8 of these things are leaping off of you, yelping and licking at their hands as the charge goes into them. There are still 4 clinging onto you, and more of them swarming in towards you at every second. We will either end the round or go to Crash at this point.
Well, I have one more attack.
Oh, sorry, one more attack.
So there's a couple of them still on me.
Yes. With 4 still on you, you are not being held to the ground anymore. 4 is not enough to keep you pinned.
And how big are they?
They're about 1.5 feet tall.
Okay, so they don't weigh very much.
No, they don't weigh much at all.
All right, so I'm just gonna, with them on me, I'm gonna launch myself into the big guy, the main dude that's grappling with Crash.
All right, give me a fighting check, John Stone.
Matched it.
All right, you leap through the air, and you're just about to grab him, and his torso seems to move in a way that a torso can't move, and you sail past him, crashing onto the table.
Oh, well.
Everybody done?
Yeah, it's either your turn or the end of the round, sir.
Okay, I'll take my turn now. So this thing is grabbing onto Crash's soul physically somehow?
Somehow it is grabbing hold of you.
Great, but he's still right in front of me. Like, is he using his hands?
Yeah, they're really...
I just can't touch his hands because they're not real?
I did not say that at all.
Great. Shazam.
Give us some details there.
I am teleporting, and I assume that he is going to be coming with me since he is grabbing onto my soul or whatever. I'm going to teleport to the basement. I'm going to be standing directly in front of the special meta stone, the travel stone, and right about where his body would be when we appear. Actually, exactly where his body would be because of my complete spatial awareness.
All right. Give me a power use to do that exactly the way you planned.
Yeah, I'll give you 2 just to make sure he comes with me because I want to grab a hold of his wrists.
Ah, even better.
Power usage I beat by let's see, it's either a 4. That's a 4. Okay, so 5. I beat it by 13. Athletics I beat by 10.
You grab hold of the physical body of this thing, and he moves fast, almost to the point where it's hard for you to get a grip, but even he isn't fast enough. and you teleport. And as you teleport and appear, you can see there's like this solid black line coming out of his back, now tearing through several floors all the way up out of your sight towards the top of the building. For the rest of you in the upper floor, particularly yourself, Tessa, there's one of those strands of fluid or black, like sick stuff coming out of that person is now really, really thin, as though it has been pulled all the way tight from her. And you two in the room, Wyatt and John, can see that it goes through the floor now, and a hole has been ripped in the floor and all the way down out of your sight. As he makes contact with the stone, he seems to become less. Like part of him is just fading ever so slightly.
All right, and with my last split action, or rather, instead of taking a split action, I'll use my 10 electricity points to buy an extra action. I'm going to give that a little snippy snip. Like, kinetic energy's got to be good for something. I'm going to do a monomolecular thin line of it and just cut right through that little tendril.
All right, go ahead and do that for me. Give me a power use roll on that one.
6. So I beat it by 12?
You slice through this black tendril, which then snaps like a rubber band, flying all the way back towards that top floor, past the two of you in the main room, all the way straight past you, Tessa, into the mouth of this woman whose eyes open up and she just starts horribly screaming. Just agonized, terrible, terrible scream.
Into
Yeah,
her mouth?
she just got shot in the mouth with like a 4,200-foot long rubber band.
Was it her tongue?
No, obviously not, as she is screaming.
You can scream out of tongue.
Thanks for the demonstration, John.
Back to the top of the round?
Yes, that'll be the top, which you have a 26 and will immediately follow yourself because you went last to go first.
Right.
I'm thinking you probably planned this.
I'm a dick. How is fellow reacting to being half stone?
It seems to be making him less substantial.
Great. I'm going to leave him here. Is he still stuck to me the same way?
He still seems to have his talons stuck into you.
Oh. Well, that sucks. Well, I guess I'll just rip him apart then. If I can. Now that he's not connected to the other thing, I'm going to try and explode him from the inside.
All right, give me another power use roll.
Inside.
Six. Power use. Beat it by 10.
You do a detonation. It's the only way I can really describe it. And chunks of this thick black ichor fly out and splatter all over the room, leaving only these horrible, disgusting talons that are somehow still metaphysically dug into you as the remains. And they're still twitching.
I pull them out.
They seem to resist your pulling and are rather embedded in your soul, you might call it.
Okay. Well, I'll find a gun and shoot myself. Whatever.
I yell, "Don't do that!"
You can't hear me.
Yes, I can. Psychic connection, bro.
Can't see him either. Oh, well, maybe.
But what seems to remain is just some talons stuck into you. We will go to Tessa at 25 next. You have just witnessed this horrible, horrible scream begin. That black tendril has flown back into her mouth, and she is just yelling and screaming. It's just this agonizing, piercing shriek.
Can I use teleport small objects to grab whatever's the root inside of her and pull it out? Teleport it out?
You absolutely can give it a shot.
Okay.
What skill are you going to use to make sure that you teleport precisely what you're aiming for?
Piloting? I don't know. What skill would work or that? Throwing? No. I don't have fishing, so.
Walk me through one. Tell me how you're going to do it with one.
I am going to pilot my energy to the landing pad that is the inside of her, that is the base of all the evil. And then I'm going to land on that shit, hook it, and take off.
Do any of our things in the store help?
Moment of clarity could be useful, but she's already on 8, so
Yeah.
I don't think so. But there's so many of these tendrils going into her body. A mishacksaw might be able to make you target all of them.
Okay, let's do it. I'll use my
All
butt.
right.
Thanks, chat.
Using the mishacksaw, thank you, chat, and give me that piloting roll on 8s.
I rolled an 8, so I beat it by 10.
That is a critical success, and you teleport these bits out of her, and they appear all in front of you as you have teleported them. Some of them have blood stains on them or bits of skin as though they were physically embedded in the body. But they slowly just sort of turn to almost a smoke or gas and then dissipate into the air.
Oh, wow.
From beneath you in the bottom floors of this building, you hear a horrible, horrible scream. It mirrors her scream, except now it's way down below you, not coming from her.
Is she okay? Do I check on her?
You can check on her. She still has a pulse, but it's pretty weak.
Okay.
She's not doing well. Let's see, I would have a 23 go next, but he is unable to act, which then puts it to Wyatt at a 22. The chorus of screaming has spread to all of these little creatures. They are all screaming horribly, just like a contagion spreading to each and every one, screaming and then ripping at themselves.
Okay, I would like to try and get away from the ones that were grappling me. Is it essentially at this point that they're just consuming each other? And
They're like
or are
pulling
they
it.
still actively-
If they had hair to pull, they would be pulling their hair and clawing at their own eyes.
Okay. So Tuesday at the office. I will go ahead and get myself free from them, and then I want to go and help attend to any of the other people that they had been torturing when we first got here, try and get them free.
All right, you easily move free of them and start pulling people off of torturing equipment. They seem to be in that same daze they were in the line, but several of them seem like they're waking up, like coming out of some kind of stupor or another.
Okay, and the couple that are actively waking back up, I want to focus my attention on them and see if I can help, get them back grounded to reality as well.
All right, we'll go to the creatures continue to rip and tear and scream at each other. We go to John Stone next.
Right. So there. How many of those creatures are still here?
There are still several hundred, but they're busy ripping at their own selves and clawing at their own eyes and carrying this cacophony of screeching. And with your enhanced vision, you can see that they're all slowly diminishing as though like some black cloud of smoke is coming off of them, like they're burning or dissipating in some fashion.
Okay. So and there's a big table here, right? Like a big meeting room table, right? Or that they were eating off of, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna take that table. I'm gonna turn it over, and I'm gonna run. And I'm going to snowplow a whole bunch of them through the window outside. Just boom, and just smash them all through the window so they can just push them out, as many of them as I can.
All right, give me an athletics test, please.
Beat it by 14.
Oh, you hit several dozen of them and then scoop up several dozen more. And at least 40 or 50, and some of their now unused torture equipment is pushed out the upper floors of this building, falling to the streets below. They continue to scream and holler and let out these horrible, horrible noise. We are going to cut back to Crash in the basement if he is willing to join us.
He's here.
All right. Crash, the thing in front of you, it's what was that, John? Sorry.
That was one attack. I have 2 attacks.
All right, John.
All right, so are there any left? I just pushed like 40 of them out of the window.
There are still, like I said, there were originally hundreds, so there's still quite a more, but they're diminishing in size by the second.
And the woman, how is she doing?
You are not with her. Tessa is.
Well, yeah, but I mean, she just at the other end of the room, right?
The life source, you can still detect it. It is very faint.
Okay. So I am gonna use my badass, which lets me tap into the abilities of one of my other avatars, right?
That would say boosted ability, which is only got when we reach a certain point in the store. Badass allows you to ignore all damage from one source. That's your store buff.
Oh, Moment of Clarity does.
Yeah,
right?
Moment of Clarity lets you use 2d8 for any skill check, even including one that is not available to you because you're, say, full avid or full pilot or full avatar. So you could use something from your pilot sheet and still roll 8s.
Okay, so I'm going to use it with Thomas's biology ability to see if I can help stabilize or save the woman.
Absolutely. Give me that. Use a Moment of Clarity so you can use 8s even though you're rolling on your avatar sheet.
Exactly. And I beat it by 9.
Beat it by 9. Dashing across the room, you reach this twisted office scene where this woman is with Tessa and immediately begin administering some forms of first aid to her. You believe that you have helped her somewhat, but she will definitely need some long-term care from a medical facility.
Okay.
Now she's going to die.
Okay. Now I'm done. That's my turns.
All right. Flashing back to Crash in the basement with these strange talons embedded into you. They pull out of your body, going backwards, and all of these parts of it that exploded around the room, all like a massive rapid vacuum, fly straight back into that stone and then disappear.
Okay. So, it's my turn?
It would be your turn, and there's nothing embedded in you at this point. Up above, you can hear the screaming, but it's fading fast.
Well, I'll teleport up there.
As you appear on the top floor, there's barely any bits, like hand-sized bits of these creatures still left that are turning more and more and more into black smoke until they're completely gone. And this hellscape is just a office building with some improvised torture equipment in it and an overturned table that looks like it was used like a snowplow to bash out a window.
Gross.
None of the signs of gore are there besides the dead bodies that they obviously tortured to death beforehand are still here.
Obviously.
And we are no longer in combat. Initiative does not apply.
That was an eventful turn.
I would say so, yes.
I rejoin the group.
All right, I'm assuming carrying the woman's body out.
Yep.
She does have life signs. She's still breathing and still has a pulse.
We should probably get this one to a hospital if there is still one available.
The people that were on torture equipment start coming to and waking up. All of them are very confused, as are the people in the stairwell, all the way leading down to the bottom floor.
So what happened? I pulled out the tentacle thing, and where'd it go?
Back in the stone.
Oh shit! So we sent it somewhere else?
Yeah.
There is also no longer an eclipse going on. The sun is shining, and it is a beautiful day out.
Man. Well,
I'm staying.
you're staying in this world?
Yeah, I'm gonna need Pierce to move my body here. Can you take care of that when we get back? Let him know where we are.
Why do you want to stay here?
That thing got in my head. I don't know if it's all the way out, but if it got its way, then I'm infected, and I can't be compromised.
All right, I can send someone here, maybe that is more knowledgeable about that kind of stuff.
Just have Pierce bring my pod, and I'll jack out after it gets here.
All right.
Well, I'm here. Can I use my Metapod skills here?
Not unless you're staying too, and I would prefer you didn't.
Can you make sure that that Sarah gets credit for some of this so that she doesn't have to go back into the insane asylum?
Yeah, since I'm gonna be here anyway, might as well.
Cool, thanks.
But I'd like my own body here, so I don't have to live in an insane asylum. So.
Right.
Yeah, beyond fair. And I mean, we've all more or less kept our avatars under wraps, but I certainly wouldn't want to stay in this damn body any longer than I had to. So
No, nobody got in your head. You're fine.
I mean, I can stick around here for a couple weeks if you want some company.
I don't. I don't like company. Might as well get used to 1904. I can still work.
You hate it here. You hate it here.
Yeah, this is the worst place ever. Of course I get to stay.
We'll get it fixed. We'll get it sorted out. We'll get your body here. I'll send someone down here. Knows more about viruses than I do.
First things first, I guess. Well, I guess call me when it gets here. I'm gonna go.
Alright, bro.
Crash Jackson is gone with his avatar, disappearing in a flash of lightning, leaving the three of you to jack out and return home and ask Pierce to bring him his pod and his body, hopefully. Was it a win? I guess only time will tell. I want to thank everyone for watching this episode of Masters of the Metaverse. Make sure to tune back in on Monday for another episode, and watch all week long. We're streaming stuff every day here on the Zoe Twitch channel. You don't want to miss it. I can't wait to see what happens next on all the different shows. We're going to have the Odies here. We've got another movie night for Zoe Game Night coming. And then, of course, there is the Crawl Royale on Fridays. I will see you guys next time. Love you all, and I hope you guys have a good night. Be safe.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
thanks all.
Masters of the Metaverse, Masters of the Metaverse. They travel through time and space and stuff. Troll them, re-roll them, throw them above. They fly through dimensions, this isn't a bluff. Heroes compelled, they have no choice. Bound by the winds of a secret voice. Masters of the Metaverse, Masters of the Metaverse. Masters of the Metaverse, Masters of the Metaverse.